Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey,
Welcome to the show. That's our guy, Georgie. He does our theme song, and if you were listening yesterday, you found out that he's got a 3 o'clock hour theme song for us as well. So if you missed it yesterday, make sure you're tuned in for it today. Georgie, you can follow him on social media, JORG Music, MUZIK.com. And he's got the 2 o'clock open, the 3 o'clock open. We're working on a 4 and a 5 o'clock open. Georgie is our guy, and I highly recommend you follow him on social media. We love the bangers that he is churning out. Crowder will be with us a little bit later this afternoon. He is in New York, and we think, his audio problems from yesterday.
Hope.
And he is currently interviewing Method Man. Now, I know you're a hip-hop head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what rap group Method Man?
METHOD.
Man.
Yeah, come on. Huh?
Do you know what group he's in?
Method Man, of course, is in the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you know? Because I know you're a hip-hop head, but I think you're kind of a poser hip-hop head.
You think I'm a poser?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because you said the Suge Knight.
Method Man, Wu-Tang?
Yeah. Very good. Can you name anyone else in Wu-Tang Clan? Simone Fontecchio.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
You read my mind.
I know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know
read
that.
my mind.
Anyway, Crowder is, and you should play Method of Modern Love today, Jimmy, from Hall & Oates, which is where it comes from. METHODOFLOVE.
It's a method of modern love.
So when Crowder's done with Method Man, who was running late, he will join us for today's program, which is going to be a loaded potato because we have a big football game on Thursday night, and we've still got our Dolphins post-mortem going on. But and you've got Heat and Panthers in action tonight. But on the show today, Josh Appel, Aronde Gadsden, Jim Larinaga is going to sit in with us for the entire 4 o'clock hour. He's going to co-host, and while he's co-hosting with us, Joe Zagacki will join us from Glendale, Arizona, where they're getting ready for the Fiesta Bowl. So we got a lot of action today, a lot of action. I think reality is setting in for most Dolphins fans. Unless someone unexpected becomes available on the head coaching market, i.e. John Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel will lead the Dolphins next season. Now, there was some hoo-ha yesterday because Mike McDaniel said in his press conference he's going to be part of the GM search.
Mm-hmm.
And people ran with that. And Barry Jackson today in the Miami Herald pointed out that the Zoom meetings, which are going on, and by the way, they're having meetings via Zoom because all these coaches essentially are getting ready for playoff games. So all these GMs, excuse me. It was told to Barry Jackson today that Mike McDaniel is not participating on those Zoom calls, which makes sense, by the way, because you have to be able to ask the general manager, what do you think of the current head coach? Do you think this current head coach is someone you could work with and build around with? You can't have Mike McDaniel participating in that interview. Now, when he said yesterday he's going to be a participant in the hiring process, I imagine they would say to him, hey, we're interviewing Joe Schmo today. Heard of him? Oh, yeah, used to work with him in San Francisco. My guess is that's kind of the extent of the involvement. Now, if they get down to 2 candidates and both those candidates happen to like Mike McDaniel, he would, I'm guessing, be more involved. They would say, hey, let's sit down with the 2 candidates and see what you think, Mike. But one of the reasons that I believe he's not involved in the Zoom calls is you have to ask these guys because you don't know. One of them may say, if I come in as general manager, absolutely have to clean house. We're not going to keep the head coach. And you could understand a general manager saying that, hey, I'm not going to go to a situation where I'm inheriting a situation that I don't think is beneficial to my job growth. So I think that's kind of what you're seeing with Mike McDaniel and his involvement or non-involvement with the general manager search. Barry Jackson in the Herald had also tweeted out, per a source with direct knowledge, multiple Dolphins GM candidates have not been told if McDaniel is returning, because I don't think it's a 100% certainty. Again, I don't think they're going to take a flyer on an unknown head coach again, even if a general manager who they like says, hey, I've been watching this guy in Seattle, and trust me, he's going to make a great head coach. I'm not certain that Stephen Ross is ready to do that. What I do think, well, did you see what Diana Rossini tweeted today? Diana Rossini tweeted, keep in mind, many teams' decisions are not being made in a vacuum. Some teams are waiting to see how the coaching market shakes out and who could become available before making moves of their own. You might as well tag the Miami Dolphins on that tweet, Diana Rossini. They are waiting. I really believe this. I believe there is 95% certainty that Mike McDaniel will be the head coach next season. I believe there's 95% certainty that John Harbaugh will coach the Baltimore Ravens next season. And I believe there's like 85% certainty that Mike Tomlin will coach the Steelers. I read something today that he's being recruited heavily for a television analyst job.
Yeah.
Which you could understand wanting to do after years of the head coaching grind. You get into the media side of it. So, I mean, his predecessor, Bill Cowher, did it and made a great career out of television. So I do think the odds are Mike McDaniel is the Dolphins head coach next season. But if a high-profile name were to come available, I do believe a John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, then I think Stephen Ross would swing for the fences there.
Or throughout this process, if there's a general manager that stands out to them, that stands out to the entire group that's on these Zoom calls, that really, sells Stephen Ross on some sort of vision, on some sort of future with him taking this position. But the one caveat is, hey, Mike McDaniel's just not my guy.
Problem is, I don't think they're there. I don't think they're at that point, because if they were at the clean house point, they would have let you know we're cleaning house. And I don't think Stephen Ross is there. I think he thinks there is enough there. There was another tweet today, I don't know if you saw it, from Barry Jackson, and he was kind of encapsulating what Ian Rappaport said on NFL Network. And he said, Mike McDaniel, Ian Rappaport reports, Mike McDaniel wasn't put in a position to succeed. And so he's going to get a chance around what ownership hopes will be a more successful GM QB combo. So my thought is the general manager candidates who say, this is my thought. The general manager candidates who say, I will not work with Mike McDaniel, but the guy I'm bringing in is a coordinator or a quarterback's coach from Seattle. I don't think Stephen Ross wants to do that. I don't. Again, I think the only way he makes a head coaching decision is if there is a whale who becomes available. That's my guess. I could be wrong. Maybe they do fall in love with the GM candidate.
It's just what I was suggesting, which is there's one guy atop Stephen Ross's list, and he's blown away by the interview, nails the interview, sells them on this vision, sells them on some sort of structure that he wants to put in place here. By the way, all these guys we pointed out yesterday are coming from successful teams, and not just teams who have had success this season. We're talking the Niners, we're talking the Eagles, we're talking the Packers, successful perennial playoff contenders, successful organizations. I just suggested one guy that Ross loves who says, hey, look, the reality is McDaniel's not the guy, and you'd be better off cutting bait now. But I'm with you, Hoch. I think McDaniel ultimately appeals to Stephen Ross for whatever reason, which is why he's still here.
If Ian Rappaport's synopsis of the situation is correct, that Miami ownership feels like McDaniel wasn't put in a position to succeed, then you kind of feel like we do have the right guy. We just happened to put the wrong people around him, which are Chris Grier and Tua. And maybe Tyreek. Like maybe the whole thing of we don't know who went to bat for the contract for Tua and for Tyreek and for Jalen Waddle. I mean, you can try to figure it out. One guy was let go in the middle of the season. It was Chris Grier. So, my brain tells me Stephen Ross is doing everything he can to keep Mike McDaniel as the head coach, but he is reserving the right to get rid of him for one huge whale who may become available.
By the way, I don't blame McDaniel for going to bat for Tua and his contract from the standpoint of, hey, they had just come off the best season that the Dolphins have had in over a decade, arguably in 25 years.
I wanted them to do it sooner.
Right, but if Tua had sat out, I'm speaking from a head coach's perspective. Tua being available to start the 2024 season was the most important part of that entire team, that and Tyreek Hill being available. And if Tua, there was the slight possibility he was going to sit out, obviously the head coach wants his quarterback there. Obviously the head coach is going to say, hey, whatever you got to do to make sure our quarterback is available, then do it. But with that being said, Hoch, I want to know how much influence he had in roster construction in lockstep with Chris Grier. That to me matters. And clearly one's here, one's not. So maybe not as much as we all thought. But it became pretty apparent that after that 2022 season, Chris Grier leaned into the style we all believe Mike McDaniel liked, which was speed rather than power. And, well, that's what they banked on, and it fell flat on its face.
Anyway, loaded potato today. Let's do headlines here with Solana. Headlines brought to you by Darrell Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Darrell Kia. Visit them at Darrell Kia or DarrellKia.com.
Can we take a step away from the Dolphins, look at the NFL playoff picture because we failed to do so yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl odds, Hoch. The Seahawks are the favorite after locking up the NFC.
Not buying it.
The Broncos take the number one overall seed in the AFC. The Pats are number 2. And I don't know. I'm not buying any of those teams. Do you have a lean?
I don't really have a lean. I'd like to say, okay, Buffalo has a chance now. I mean, I'd like to. I don't know. I'm really torn because there's no, it's always been Kansas City, and you go, yeah, until someone can unseat Kansas City, I'm riding with KC. I just don't believe in Seattle. I don't really. I mean, do you believe in the Eagles? Do you believe in the Bears?
No.
Believe in Jacksonville?
No.
There's so many teams in the playoffs. You believe in the Chargers?
No.
Rams?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put money on the Rams. I don't know. They kind of had a not great end to the season.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no, I don't know.
Have you ever gone into, when's the last time you remember going into a playoffs, an NFL playoffs, where you don't feel like not only is there not a clear-cut favorite to win it all, but there's really no strong, dominant contenders.
I mean, ever since Kansas City's been part of the playoffs with Mahomes, like, that's been it, no?
Yeah. This is the first AFC playoffs without Mahomes or Joe Burrow going back like.
So that doesn't lead you to Buffalo? Or you think they're too flawed?
I mean, I have this very sick feeling in my stomach that Josh Allen is going to win the Super Bowl this year, because if not now, then when? I mean, literally no Lamar, no Burrow, and no Patrick Mahomes in his way. Like, if Buffalo doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, you want to talk about head coaching vacancies?
Well, McDermott would probably become available. I really do believe that.
Remember, I told you guys before the season, bro, if they don't win it now, then what do you do with McDermott? You're just going to keep jumping back on the hamster wheel. They have to feel the same way that, like, the Ravens feel, that the Steelers feel. Anybody but Buffalo, please. Anybody but Buffalo. Did you see that the Dolphins, we also didn't get to this yesterday, the Dolphins' regular season opponents for next year were revealed?
I saw. I believe the Bears are coming.
The Bears are going to be here.
Roma
That's the first
Doomsday.
thing I thought was Hoch's going to get to go watch Caleb Williams and the Bears. But you'll have the Chiefs. You'll have Joe Burrow and the Bengals back here again next year.
Or Joe Burrow versus his old team.
That's right. That's right. And the Lions, who missed the playoffs this year, and Man Campbell, they will be here, along with the Chargers, who the Dolphins play literally every single year.
Yeah. But you know who's on that team?
Oronde Gadsden.
Oronde Gadsden.
2 straight years. OG will get to be there. You know, somebody messaged us the other day. They said, I watched OG on that commercial with Dan Marino. And I had never seen it until Sunday night. I hadn't seen it until Sunday night. OG, Dan Marino, Dan says, I caught the first touchdown pass. I'm sorry, OG and Joe Rose. I caught the first touchdown pass of Dan Marino, Joe Rose says, and then OG says, hey, I'm Oronde Gadsden. I caught the last touchdown pass.
Kind of cool.
OG looked good on TV, man. Yeah. Better than Joe.
Wow. Catching strays.
You saw Matthew Tkachuk back on the ice and not wearing the non-contact jersey. So he was just in regular gear. He seems
to be pretty close to a return.
Yeah.
So does Tyler Hero, huh?
Tyler Hero's going to play tonight, huh?
All right.
We'll see. You know he's played 6 games this year?
I am aware.
He has missed 31 games.
That's a lot of games to miss.
We're in January. He's played 6 games.
Yeah, I'm going all the Tyler overs tonight, right?
Really? That's your plan?
Yep. He comes out. He's firing.
All right.
I think he wanted to play the other night.
The Heat play the Minnesota
Timberwolves what his over-under is tonight?
Tyler's over-under 19.5?
It's 16.5.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Does not.
It makes sense. I mean,
guy's putting up 20 in the first half.
If you think that he's going to put up his numbers, his usual numbers,
and you should come out firing.
You should be putting the house on the over. I put the house on the over for Anthony Edwards.
I saw he's questionable.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw someone saying that might be like a maintenance day for him, but because it's on national TV, there's other restrictions on resting a high-profile guy like that.
Man, I didn't see that. And, you know, I checked the T-Wolves account earlier. They're posting videos of Anthony Edwards. Like, he's obviously their main attraction always. But today, especially, their graphic for today's game is Anthony Edwards.
NBA on NBC.
Yeah, it's on NBC. Yeah. It's the lone Miami Heat game on NBC all season long.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get more of that Michael Jordan interview that you love so much.
I do love that interview.
Yeah. One interview. They used it 17 times.
It's been so good.
No, they should just replay it. I want to hear more about Michael Jordan shooting a free throw. Yeah, shooting a free throw for some little kids.
I love that interview.
The Panthers play the Maple Leafs tonight, 7:30. That'll be on AM 560. And the Miami Heat play the Minnesota Timberwolves. That'll be at 8 p.m. We are your only local coverage tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow. I saw that the Diddy Bowl is tonight. The Predators play the Oilers. That is wild.
They've got to change that name, don't they? Nashville.
Wild.
Like, does anybody really have some sort of strong affinity for the Nashville Predators?
Right. Like, I can't lose my Predators. Like, what?
Just change it, or just change it to the Preds. Like, strictly the Preds.
Just
too much? Still?
Yeah, like, get away from Predators.
I asked you at the end of the show yesterday, are you feeling any sort of way about this Ole Miss matchup? You were cocky Canes fan.
I'm still feeling it.
You're feeling it?
I am.
Has that line changed at all?
3.5 last I saw.
Okay. So you're going to lay the 3.5.
Going to lay the 3.5. Probably going to bet a significant amount on the Hurricanes. I really strongly feel I'm not dismissing Ole Miss in any way, shape, or form because they're fun to watch. But, man, I thought Ohio State was the toughest battle on the road to a national championship, and they just didn't have a problem. Now, are the Canes capable of putting up a stinker? Yeah, we saw it twice this year.
Yeah.
Louisville and SMU, like as good as you are, you can put up a stinker on any given night. So that's possible, but man, player for player, team for team, riding with the Canes on that one.
Well, right now the Canes are tied with Oregon for the second best odds to win the Natty. Fernando Mendoza, Indiana, is number one. It's a shame that this is the year Miami and Indiana are crossing paths, because Fernando Mendoza winning a Natty in Miami would have been a really cool story. I just don't want to see it anymore. I want to see the Hurricanes go win it. Like, forget your Columbus pride, Cujo.
I'll watch him play.
Right.
I'll watch him play.
Yeah, have
lose
fun.
to the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah. There's a lot of NFL notes. We don't have time to get to all of them, but Cliff Kingsbury is parting ways with the Commanders. He was the OC, and it seems like he wants a head coaching gig. Remember, he coached the Arizona Cardinals before they fired the nameless head coach that's been there for the last 3 years.
He was the flavor of the month for a while.
Don't you mean Dan Quinn? He said Chris Quinn.
Yeah, Chris Quinn.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
No, Commanders are firing Chris Quinn. That's right.
But you said Cliff Kingsbury. Where'd you come up with Dan Quinn?
I have no clue.
Did you mention Chris Quinn?
I did not.
Huh.
For some reason, I heard Chris Quinn.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
That hat too tight, Jimmy?
Are you sure you're okay?
Might be too tight.
All right. Because I heard Cliff Kingsbury, but then I thought maybe I missed a story about Dan Quinn as well.
I know I said Cliff Kingsbury,
right.
And I was about to tell you how handsome Cliff Kingsbury is, which is why he was the flavor of the month.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah. McDaniel, good-looking, but he's not on that Cliff Kingsbury look.
Gotcha.
You disagree?
No. I like McDaniel's look, though.
There were a couple – there's like 8 videos of us killing his look, by the way, out there. But
I, as a head coach, there's a reason that we're killing his look. It's because you're losing. You've got the pants up to the calves. You got the off-whites on. You're like, there's a reason. But I'm just like, in general, walking into Starbucks, Mike McDaniel's got a good look.
He's got swag for sure. He's wearing the Gucci glasses.
Yeah.
What it really is training camp. It's 100 degrees outside, and he's wearing the tracksuit with the pants raised up.
Cool as hell when you're winning. When you're 1-6, it's not cool.
And the other story, Hoch, I want to get to, maybe you have, you always do, more information on this. The Athletics, who moved from Oakland, are playing in Sacramento, I think, last year, got their patent denied.
Yeah.
To be the Las Vegas Athletics or the Vegas Athletics.
Right.
So what now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe just the A's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, we'll get into that.
Text in. My day is so complete now since Hoch said the Diddy joke. I'm literally crying right now. Oilers versus Predators, LMFAO. Whatever I can do.
Anything else on Chris Quinn, Jimmy?
Nah.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
All right, just checking.
Your weather right now in South Florida. It just came out of nowhere, too.
Well, I thought I missed something. Yeah.
Is it because Dan Quinn is the coach of the Commanders? Like, is that where you're headed at?
You heard Commanders.
And I thought I heard you say Chris Quinn.
But you heard him say Cliff, and you didn't hear anything else. And then you thought Cliff, he meant Chris, and you thought he meant Dan.
Sure.
Are you okay?
Okay.
It's only 2:26, Jimmy.
If there's an engineer listening, can you check on Jimmy in master control?
Your weather, it's in the 80s, back to being hot in South Florida. A little cloudy as well. That's your weather.
Josh Appel's going to join us in the next segment. This is a huge week for Hurricanes football. Red alert, everybody, which means you got to get to Caneswear in Davie. You got to get Hurricanes merch right now at Caneswear. You're going to watch the game Thursday night. Maybe you're headed to the Fiesta Bowl, or maybe you're watching it. We know Jim Larinaga, he's leaving tomorrow. He's going to be on with us today. But maybe you're watching with friends on the couch. Maybe you're watching by yourself. Wherever you are, you've got to be decked out in some new Canes gear from Caneswear. We have been waiting for this for over 20 years. Celebrate it. Get in on the fun here with a trip to Caneswear today. Maybe you got some cash for the holidays. You're sitting on cash right now. Maybe you got some of those, credit card gift cards. You just got the Amex card loaded with money, you got the Visa card loaded with money. Spend it on what you really want, which is new Canes gear at Caneswear. And I'll remind you, as I always do, it's not just Canes merch at Caneswear. It's Dolphins, if you dare, Inter Miami, Heat, Hurricanes basketball, the Marlins, the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. Caneswear in Davie has it all. I'm talking all kinds of apparel, shirts, hats, jerseys, shorts, hoodies for you and the entire family. But right now is the time to show the world how you rep the U, and the place to get all your gear is Caneswear. That store in Davie right now is like a party. It's like a party in Davie at Caneswear, and it will be up until Thursday night and then hopefully after Thursday night. So go visit Caneswear in Davie on University Drive right next to La Spada's, or you can shop online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot South Florida sports fans shop.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I'd like to officially go on record. I am wearing underwear today.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios.
All right. Josh Appel is on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Josh Appel is a play-by-play broadcaster nationally for Sports USA. He was on the call of the Jacksonville game Sunday. Blowout City. He was rinkside Friday night at Lone Depot Park for the Winter Classic, which we really didn't have any time to talk about yesterday. We talked about it briefly with Cunha, but there's so much Dolphin stuff going on and Kane stuff going on. But maybe we can get a second here to talk about it with Josh. He looked great.
Yeah.
Had the blazer, the quarter zip. I mean, he was rocking my look if I cared about my look. But let's talk Dolphins first. Mike McDaniel, for all intents and purposes, I believe he will be back for his, what would it be, fifth season as head coach? He'll be back for his fifth season as head coach. I would say save for a John Harbaugh becoming available or a Mike Tomlin, someone who is a big name. I think he'll be back. Do you think that is the right decision or the wrong decision? Or are you still in the camp where you go, you know what? I could make a case for either side.
I think I can make a case for either side. Me personally, I don't think that if he's back, it lasts longer than this upcoming season. Have you seen what that schedule looks like?
Yeah, I have.
I don't think it's going to go very well for the Dolphins next year unless a bunch of different things come together and they surprise everybody and they exceed all expectations, which this team pretty much never does. Like, when was the last time? Was the last time the Wildcat year when nobody had any expectation that all of a sudden Brady gets hurt? And
I mean, did we
have
expectations in 23?
I think people expected them to be a playoff team in 2023.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, they invested.
I think of the 170-point game. I go, well, that exceeded expectations.
Right. Well, yeah, they had certain moments, but like on the whole, everybody expected them to be a postseason team. I saw a report from Monday Morning Quarterback from Albert Breer that also included Kevin Stefanski.
Oh,
category.
What do you think? Would you take him over McDaniel? You would. You would pull the trigger on that right now.
Yeah, because before the Deshaun Watson craziness in Cleveland, he was building something there.
He had more success there than essentially he did with Cleveland what's going on with Miami, no?
Right, and he had a great track record as an offensive coordinator prior to that. Things kind of crashed and burned for Cleveland at the end, but I think a lot of that was out of his control. I'm really intrigued by Stefanski. I think he's going to get one of these open jobs. It doesn't seem like John Harbaugh is going anywhere, though. It seems like he's going to be able to make changes at either one or both coordinator spots and keep his job with the Ravens and obviously now with Tomlin. It seems like Tomlin is either staying with the Steelers or he's going into TV. That's kind of what the chatter is in these reports.
Bill Cowher's lead, right?
Right. Yeah, the Steeler pipeline.
I mean, that's the pipeline.
You know,
it's one report, though. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's like what he wants.
Oh, I think
to
it's
do.
a done deal.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know who made the report.
It's funny. I was going through my Facebook memories just now, and on this day,
this is so great.
This day 15 years ago, Levitard had reported on his radio show that Jim Harbaugh had accepted the Dolphins head coaching position, and this is when they went and visited Harbaugh while Sperano was still the head coach.
Right,
that was grovel back to Sperano.
Yeah. So what ended up happening? So Dan reports on this day 15 years ago that Jim Harbaugh has accepted the Dolphins head coaching position. But had he not accepted it, did they what ended up happening there? Because we all thought that was a done deal.
They were meeting and they met, and it seemed like a foregone conclusion that it was done, and then it wasn't.
Huh. What they do? They gave Sperano an extension after that.
Yeah. Because hey, man, we tried to replace you, but here's a little extra money.
Didn't he have to sit like in a conference room meeting with the media, and it was like this most awkward. Well, man,
God rest his soul.
What a long, strange trip it's been for Dolphins fans.
There's 81 comments on that post, and like one of the first 3 is me telling someone else, hey, well, Bill Cowher, I think, is already going to CBS, and he's probably not going to come back, which is funny. Like, seeing the names that we were talking about back then, there was another comment about Kyle Orton and somebody named Ingram. I think that was the We Want Orton era.
Oh, I love the We Want
Dolphins football
era. That was a great era.
What a brutal amount of eras we've gone through.
What was a more certain thing? Jim Harbaugh coming to coach the Dolphins or Peyton Manning coming to be the quarterback? Dolphins.
Well, I'm still blocked by WSVN on Twitter because I blamed them with angry tweets for ruining that.
Yeah, they chased him down.
They had
with
the chopper, right?
Yeah,
They had the chopper.
Guy's just trying to drive from Opelika Airport to like a golf course, and they're swooping at him with a news chopper.
That was a fun day, though, man.
That was great.
a
The
really
billboards.
That was great.
I skipped class. I'm pretty sure. What was that, Appel? 2014, right?
Yeah, it had to be something like that.
I remember skipping class at FIU because I'm like, oh, Peyton Manning's coming here. Like, I'm not going to class. F that. I'm going to party, man. I'm going to Wynwood or something. I'm not going to class.
What a ridiculous thought process. But any sports fan, any young sports fan can relate. Like, what? Dolphins are getting Peyton Manning? I can't go to class today.
I did that for Kyle Orton.
Hey, Appel, it seems like, look, Mike McDaniel staying here, and right now it kind of feels like, all right, we're keeping you, I guess. But it seems like Stephen Ross decided the person who failed over the past couple years was Chris Grier. And Tua Tagovailoa, I guess, just because they drafted him and it's not working out. Did he make the right decision? I'm not suggesting that he should have kept Chris Grier and fired McDaniel. I'm just wondering, did he make the right decision in just assuming this was more on Chris Grier than it was Mike McDaniel, who just didn't get a fair shake at it?
I kind of struggle with that because we've heard Omar Kelly on these airwaves, and I've heard this as well separately. Not that I'm ultra plugged in, but I have heard this enough that a lot of the moves and a lot of the roster building that resulted in this was done in conjunction with Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. Yeah. And obviously the buck stops with Chris Grier. He's been here for so long. He is ultimately the decision maker, but those two made a lot of their decisions in conjunction with each other. And they always talked about how collaborative the front office and the coaching staff were and how healthy that was in the building. And I'm sure it was. Obviously, you want to have a general manager and your head coach in lockstep in an agreement on how they want to build the roster. I guess Ross is giving McDaniel benefit of the doubt because of Tua's deterioration and just all the injury issues at quarterback last year. And then you think about it this way as well. Look at how many patchwork additions they made during training camp, after training camp, before the season started, as the season started. Arguably their best weapon on offense, other than Devon Achane, was featured the last 5 games of the year, Greg Dulcich. I think the Dolphins found a tight end and they can rely on next year with Greg Dulcich, and he came in the middle of the season. And so, there's a lot of procedural stuff that Mike McDaniel still has issues with. They are somehow still inept on 3rd and short and 4th and short. It seemed like it was getting better for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it looked like the 3rd and 4th and shorts of previous years. We've seen them take timeouts with 0 seconds coming off the clock to start a half this season. There's still apparently miscommunication on defense with the staff, according to Jordan Poyer. So, yeah, you can blame Chris Grier if you want, even though we know it's collaborative for how the roster was built, but also Mike McDaniel has plenty of downfalls and shortcomings as a head coach. And the big glaring one this year, besides what we've all talked about, their third quarters this year, an abomination. They were outscored, it felt like, by 1,000 in the third quarter this year. And I don't know who else that falls on other than the head coach.
So when you put all that stuff out there, do you say to yourself, hey, retaining him for a 5th season is a cataclysmic mistake? Or do you say, you know what? Is there anything really better out there? So what's the difference? We're going to take another flyer on another coordinator, and you got to wait a little while and see if it works out. So why not run it back another season with him?
The argument for me to not retain him is I want a general manager and a head coach coming in at the same time. And you get in this, all right, well, we're going to hire a new general manager this season and then fire the new head coach, or fire the head coach and hire a new one next year. And you're never kind of aligned back. Tennessee's going through this where they fired a head coach or fired a general manager every other year. And the other side to that for me is, and we've talked about this before, is they've already extended Mike McDaniel. They're going to pay him next year. 2026 is not going to be a good season for this team. They're cap strapped. The schedule is really difficult. Who's going to play quarterback? What is this roster going to look like going into next year? And of all the head coaching candidates that are out there, like if Kevin Stefanski comes and says, yeah, I'll take this job, great. If John Harbaugh gets let go and says, I'll take this job, great. But like, are you attracting the top assistants in this cycle? I don't think you are, just based on what else is out there. Like, I think that the Giants are probably a better job right now than the Dolphins for a new head coach. I would take Tennessee with the cap space and Cam Ward and their high draft pick. Like, there are other jobs that I think Vegas is attractive, obviously, with the number 1 overall pick that they're going to have coming into this season. So in that sense, you're going to have to pay Mike McDaniel still regardless. Next season's not going to go well unless, again, as I said earlier, they defy all expectations. What's the difference other than not having an aligned general manager as far as being hired at the same time? They're just keeping him another year and just doing this next offseason and having a clean slate to hire a new head coach in 2027.
Before we run out of time, you were rinkside Friday night, Panthers Winter Classic, a real stinker against the Rangers. But forget about the game. The Winter Classic at Lone Depot Park, what were your thoughts as you watched that take place in South Florida on a chilly Friday night?
Speaking of chills, like I was legitimately getting chills as the teams were walking out, as they were doing the anthem. Like, the crowd was on fire for it. And like, being a lifelong Panthers fan and experiencing some of the games and teams that I sat through as a kid in that empty arena, to fast forward to the Winter Classic being held in South Florida and like being able to cover it the way that I was able to, like, it was like a fever dream in like the best way possible.
The worst part was, because you said it was electric as they're walking in, the worst part was the Panthers the entire night on the ice never gave the fans a reason to really get riled up.
They played a really good like 15 minutes in the first period and couldn't cash in on any chances. And then New York scored on like 2 consecutive shots late in the first period. And that was that. So like, just to give you a peek behind the curtain. So how it works for me to get my intermission interviews during the game, I have a contact with NHL media relations. I'll send them a text like, hey, if it's 0-0, give me Evan Rodriguez from the Panthers. That's what I did. And I got the thumbs up reaction back from the PR people. And then as soon as that text came back, the Rangers scored. And so I had to audible right away and didn't end up getting to talk to any Panthers during the game, talk to Sam Bennett for our pregame show. But I mean, it was still an unbelievable night. And big picture wise, like, I know the game sucked. Panthers made up for it by beating the Avalanche the other night, but truly an unbelievable spectacle put on by the NHL, and the way that they were able to pull it off. The ice was obviously not the best quality you would find, but like, it was good enough for this game. The fans packed the stadium. I loved the beach on one side and the ice on the other side, as far as like how they set up on the other side of the rink. I know that there were some complaints about the stadium itself for the fan experience as far as concessions and just getting around there. And I feel like that stadium was built and they didn't think they'd ever have to handle more than 15,000 people ever.
Well, beyond that, and I was saying to Solana, like at a baseball game, because I was there with my family and my wife and I we literally could not traverse the stadium because it was so packed wall to wall. But a baseball game is meant to kind of have meandering fans throughout 3 hours. There's no break where everyone comes into the concourse at the same time. So it's not built for that. So that's no fault of the Panthers. It's just the result of having it at a baseball stadium, a ballpark that's built solely for a baseball crowd.
Right. And I also want to give a shout out to Goldie and Hoch's childhood friend, Billy Jaffe, for
I love Billy Jaffe.
Those two are great together on our national radio broadcast. And it was really cool. And we've done segments on the show with Goldie as well. But again, as someone who grew up watching this team and watching Goldie for so long, getting to actually work on a Panthers broadcast with him was really awesome.
I'll tell you, I'll name drop a little bit here because I had like a bucket list moment walking up to the ballpark with my wife, my son, a friend of his, and Goldie and Ed Jovanovski.
Wow, Jovo.
Jovo comes up to me and goes, Hoch, here you're a pretty big tipper. I said, yes, my reputation precedes me. And he said, I commend you on that. I said, Jovo, that's the nicest thing I've heard all
That's
night.
awesome.
Major night.
That was pretty cool. All right, Josh Appel, you got anything coming up? I mean, there's no more football season for Sports USA, right?
Correct. I'm a father. I'm a father until the soccer schedule starts.
Yeah, Lori and I were going over to have dinner with Josh and Mara next Monday night. We haven't met their new baby, and so we're having dinner at their house, but it's a Panthers-Sabres watch party Monday night with the Hawkwins and the Appels.
Solana? Sabres?
I
Divide 'em?
mean, no, he's got to watch all Sabres games by himself so he can concentrate and focus.
Are you buying the Sabres yet, Hawk?
Josh Appel, we love you, Josh.
Love you guys too. Thank you.
There you go. Josh Appel on a very busy Tuesday. Gulfstream Park in beautiful Hallandale Beach is often racing. I mean, this kind of weather, holy mackerel. The championship meet is on, featuring live racing every Thursday through Sunday. Witness the nation's top horses and jockeys compete on the iconic Gulfstream track. Enjoy the thrill of racing all season long. And Gulfstream Park also offers the hottest slots and electronic table games, so you combine the excitement of casino gaming and the thrill of thoroughbred racing in one electrifying destination. I believe the Pegasus is the 24th, right? Aren't we going to do the show out at Gulfstream on the 23rd?
23rd.
Yeah, so we're going to do the show on the 23rd, and the Pegasus will be the following day, Saturday the 24th. I mean, one of the biggest days in all of racing. You can get your tickets and the info at gulfstreampark.com. And then you got the Holy Bull Stakes coming up January 31st, where you can experience the thrill as the top 3-year-olds make their season debut in this pivotal prep race, setting the tone for an unforgettable championship meet. And again, you can enjoy a full day of live thoroughbred racing, trackside dining, and unmatched energy of a South Florida racing tradition. By the way, on the 31st, it's also Taste at the Track, tacos and tequila. And that's a fun way to watch a day of racing. So get your Holy Bull Stakes tickets, get your Pegasus tickets, get all the info you need at gulfstreampark.com.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Crowder.
Hawk.
Crowder.
Hawk.
Unk.
Y'all got to get to Ed Moore's Cadillac. They are watching out for you at the Road Ahead sales event. That means you get savings on these beautiful Cadillacs, all the ones you wanted. You've been watching them. You've been staring at mine in my driveway, my wife's car. You want that Cadillac? Get down there right now and get behind the wheel of a 2024 Cadillac Lyrics or XT4. You choose for just $319 a month. Or imagine how much you'll be saving on some of these beautiful Cadillacs with
Me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Oh. We did it earlier.
At repairclinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is the legendary WQ.
Unmute. Yo, Crowder, unmute yourself.
There we go.
All right. What volume is your mic on the sound settings?
Sound settings.
Remember I showed you earlier this morning? Open up sound settings and lower the Jimmy, you can pot up Hoch live. Don't unmute the stream. You keep your stream muted until I tell you to, okay?
I'm ready, Georgie. I'm ready, Georgie. So Crowder is trying to connect from New York, and obviously, as always, there's technical issues.
Crowder, you have to unmute yourself, bro. You have to unmute yourself. Stream, we're not coming back until Crowder's audio sounds good for radio. We're a radio show first. Crowder, you have to unmute yourself, bro. Are you, Crowder, are you playing a practical joke on me? Unmute yourself. On StreamYard, brother. On StreamYard. Crowder, unmute.
Can you see me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, you're unmuted now. You sound
I
good.
can hear you. Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Nervously. Can you hear, Crowder?
I can hear now.
Now, what do you think it is with you and computers? Because I was saying as Solana was trying to fix this, and everybody watching the stream got the video of you trying to do it, and somebody had put, this is like watching Solana split the atom. You have this bizarre inability for a fairly young guy to understand any workings of a computer. If you hear, like, when Solana says, like, open the audio settings, you literally smile as if he has said to you, like, if you were trying to pilot the Apollo 13, like nothing, absolutely nothing resonates with you when it comes to any kind of settings, video, audio, otherwise.
Because I panic, I think, and our default is to laugh because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, he sounds good. Where are you? You look like you're in like a conference, like a lobby almost.
Yeah, I'm in the On View on Jersey's on that dirty little creek they have outside in Jersey at the On View in some conference center.
What's a On View? That's a
nice hotel.
a Bonvoy.
Bonvoy. You know how I do it.
I let the cat out of the bag in the 2:00 hour. I said you were interviewing Method Man. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. No, I told you before. I used to try to keep it a secret, but why am I? It's going to come out sooner or later. What the hell are we secreting for? Yes, Method Man. And we did Brian Burns early this morning. Method Man's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's exactly how you think he'd be. He's Method Man.
He doesn't break character.
No, like every character he gets, like we talk about him, like, you know what? Like when you're a gangster, you're Method Man. When you're a teacher, you're Method Man. When you're, like
that's true. No, that's right. He's always playing some version of Method Man.
Yes, and he was Method Man all the way today.
Well, you sound great today. The camera looks clear. He sounds great. Do I owe a debt of thanks to you, Solana? Because I know you were we had some audio issues with Crowder yesterday, and I know you were with him earlier today to try to fix it. Like, do I owe a huge debt of thanks to you, Solana?
Can I just have the rest of the day off after the last 5 minutes? Crowder, when I'm yelling at you, unmute yourself. Why are you just smiling at me?
Well, that's what, watching on the video, that's what I get the biggest kick out of, is you look like you're splitting the atom, and he just smiles.
But I can't, here's the thing, I couldn't ensure that we were ready to go until he unmuted himself to test, A, can you still hear me? B, do you sound the way you're supposed to sound? And I'm like, Crowder, unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. You control your own mute toggle button. And he's just staring at me.
Right. But in Crowder's defense, that's what gets him out of a lot of things, is just When I first met him, he said, "Do you know what country dumb is?" And I said, "No, not really." And he's like, "I play country dumb all the time." And he goes, "It gets me out of everything." And country dumb is essentially just looking into my head and,
hey, how you doing? Hey,
let them know that you don't understand what's going on, and they'll fix it for you at some point.
And I hate to throw Jimmy under the bus, but I told Jimmy, don't unmute the stream until I'm back in the studio, like we're ready to go. Now Crowder, I'm back in the studio. Crowder's talking. Jimmy's just staring at me, smiling now. So I've got dummy number one just staring at me and smiling. And dummy number two doesn't put dummy number one on the air, just staring at me and smiling.
Hey, Hawk, that 15 seconds you watched,
Yeah.
that was Solana for 15 minutes this morning. System settings.
Because I
System
remember
settings.
when we used to have Don Bailey Jr., was it DBJ that you had to walk through?
Hog, don't bring up PTSD.
Why did we have a stream with Don Bailey Jr.?
When COVID happened and everybody was trying to find different ways to navigate not coming into studio,
right?
Len, our program director, told Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr., hey, Hawk, Crowder, Joe, all the guys have figured out how to work from home. And Joe Zagacki opted to not do that. He just wanted to be on the phone. It was just easier for them at the time, and that's fair. But finally, it got to the point where Joe Z and DBJ couldn't talk to each other because sometimes the phone lines would go down.
You mean like on Hurricane Hotline, they were doing it over the phone?
A couple times.
Huh.
So DBJ finds out from Joe Z how easy it is to set up a stream. Joe Z had figured it out. It was great. So DBJ puts me in contact, and I hate to do this, but with his assistant or an assistant at Don Bailey Flooring.
Yeah.
That lady, God bless her. I never even told DBJ this. That lady cursed at me and told me this isn't my job. I said, hey, this isn't my job. I have no business.
Welcome to the club, lady.
I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart to help out a good friend, DBJ. But that was 5 minutes with her. I'm just explaining you have to plug the mic in the computer. She's like, how do I do that? I mean, that's where we were starting from.
This morning, this is just a small picture of how it went. Solana says, go to the top right-hand corner of your screen. I said, okay, I'm looking. He said, now go to audio settings. I said, all I see is a battery and a little Wi-Fi ice cream. So next to the Wi-Fi ice cream, he gets frustrated.
Yeah. Because, in fairness, most adults at this point know where your settings are. You know what I mean? Like, you know where the settings are. It's almost impossible to not be able to navigate this unless you're in your 70s or 80s and it's literally a foreign thing. When we had Jim Larinaga coming on every week starting last year, Solana spent a number of times on the phone with him and his assistant, but now Jim Larinaga is like set, but no one can touch his computer. Like, if the 3 buttons he pushes aren't correct, he's as lost as Crowder is.
Me and Jim, we came up in the same era.
Coach L worked at this to perfect the craft. Coach L, it took him a couple days, but he's a coach. He had to figure it out.
He wanted to go get headphones with a microphone attached to it,
and he wanted to sound good. He wanted it to be professional.
Yeah.
He's always worried about his background. I mean, we're on year 6 with Channing Crowder, and it's like we started back at square 0 today, or square 1.
You ever seen Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Bubba was good at shrimp. You think he knew how to work this microphone?
Fair. I mean, if you know who you are and you say, listen, I mean, it is what it is. Although this is essentially, because it's your job, this is Bubba not being good at shrimp.
You found a loophole in my argument.
This is Bubba being terrible at making shrimp.
Having one shrimp dish, that would have killed the whole scene.
Fried shrimp. Fried shrimp.
That's about it.
All right, let's do headlines because Aronde Gadsden's going to join us this hour, and we seem to be connected just fine with Crowder, who is in New Jersey.
He sounds good.
He sounds very good, and he looks very clear on the stream.
That brand new computer.
I know. It's great. He does care.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm showing out.
He just needs it to be kind of like a fail-safe system.
Mm-hmm.
I log on, I click this button, and that's it. And the moment stuff starts to go awry, he just doesn't have the ability to say to himself, oh, I think the output might be a little too loud, or like he's waiting for someone with that dumb country look. And he waits for someone to come in and swoop in and fix it.
You want me to troubleshoot, huh? That's not my job.
Not his job. All right, let's do headlines with Solana, brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
I would like to catch Crowder up because I know you've been busy today, Crowder. Barry Jackson did some really good reporting earlier this morning. Yesterday, we were under the assumption, based on Mike McDaniel's comments, he'd be a part of the general manager party or search party or whatever, like the group of people that the Dolphins have put together to go interview the next general manager potential candidates for the Dolphins. We have since found out he is not on the Zoom calls today. The Dolphins started their general manager interviews, and he's not on the Zoom calls. He's not going to be actually a part of the group that's interviewing the candidates.
Oh, that's great. We joked about it yesterday. I think he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be a part of it. You know why he shouldn't be? He's going to get his feelings hurt when they start evaluating him to the new GM.
That's the thing. I was saying, like, you can't have a general manager candidate and ask him, what do you think of the current head coach while the current head coach is sitting there? That would be silly. And then if the guy says he's terrible, well, if Mike McDaniel gets a full vote on who they're hiring, I'm not voting for the guy who thinks I'm terrible.
You want to keep Coach around? No. Hey, what's up, Mike? Huh? Yeah, that's a great decision. Good job, Stephen Ross.
Somebody said, how did this guy learn NFL defenses?
Oh,
He didn't. he knew how to do one thing. That was let linebackers or tight ends blow right by him.
Hey, fella, heavy diagrams. heavy diagrams.
Well, I'm your Zach Thomas.
Well, let's not push it. Like, you're
I
Zach
mean-
Thomas of radio?
No. I'm not saying I'm the Zach Thomas of radio.
You're there to help him.
I'm your Zach Thomas. I'm guiding you through the playbook in terms of getting your audio connected.
I got it.
Okay, I'll go with that.
The problem
And
with
you're-
Solana is Solana also believes that he is a whiz at this stuff.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
compared to you, he is. But we all recall when College Game Day was here, Solana yelling, "The light is on, Hoch. The light is on." It didn't have anything to do with the audio. I knew it didn't have anything to do with the audio. And he was just delighted that the light was on. And it became a whole sign at College Game Day.
The problem is that the people who reconfigured this studio think they're wizards. Rather than coming to the people who actually sit in the studio with questions, they believe they're wizards. That's the real problem.
You know what? You like to talk down on people, Solana. So in
Yeah,
this situation, you got me.
He is not a great, like, he is a decent problem solver, but he doesn't do it like with a cordial attitude.
Oh, no.
When he has to solve someone else's problems, he is just, and by the way, I'm the same way. Like, I purposely don't do that. And if something's broken in my house, or my son is charging cord wouldn't work the other night, and so he went to the Apple store, he got a new cord, and that didn't seem to be working. And Lori's doing all this troubleshooting. She's trying different squares and different outlets, and she's rebooting the computer. I just don't have the patience to do it for someone else. I can do it for myself all day long. I have no patience to do it for someone else. She fixed it, by the way. The Hochmans are incapable of fixing anything because we don't have the patience to do so. My wife can fix anything. She can fix plumbing, ceiling fans, whatever. We, the Hochmans, can't do any of this. My brother texted me the other night, and he said, the handle on the toilet broke in my house. He lives in Chicago. The toilet handle broke, and he says, Susan, his wife, he's like, Susan says that I can fix this on my own. Just go to the hardware store, go to Home Depot, and look on YouTube. It's a very easy fix. So he's like, what do you think the chances are that I can do it? And I said, well, zero. I mean, there's literally zero chance that you can fix that. You're a Hochman. And he's like, Lori could do it, though, right? And I said, yeah, Lori could do it with no problem. Wouldn't have to watch a video. Like, she knows how to do all that stuff. It doesn't matter if it's the handle, the flapper, the whatever. She knows how to do all that stuff. So,
Flapper.
my brother texts me the next day. He goes, partial victory. I fixed it. I said, nice job. He goes, the only problem is I have to push the flusher up. Backwards. Lori's like, there's probably a left flush and a right flush or whatever. So to flush his toilet now, you have to pull the handle up.
That's ridiculous.
Well, for the Hochmans, that's really like an amazing feat. I mean, that really,
Have you ever taken the lid off your toilet tank?
I have. I don't like what I see in there, so I immediately put it back.
Yeah. That water, like they say it's clean.
It's
that water's not clean.
Dirty. I don't know what that big bobber is. There's a big bobber in there. There's a chain. There's some sort of chain.
That's sad, man.
I literally, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'll say it anyway. Before I met Lori, I may have told you this. I did not know how to replace the wiper fluid in my car. I figured that was just too difficult a task. So the only time I would change my wiper fluid is when I got an oil change, and they would do all the fluids for you. And we're driving around. I don't know if we're dating or if we're engaged. My windows are filthy dirty. Like, can you please clear off the windows a little bit? I'm like, there's no wiper fluid in there. And she's like, well, why don't you put wiper fluid in yet? I'm like, because I don't need an oil change. She's like, what? And I go, well, when else would I get the wiper fluid put in except when I'm doing the oil change?
Man.
Let me show you how to change the wiper fluid. And happens to be very easy. And that's as handy as I ever feel. I love when I'm out of wiper fluid because I feel like a man. Go get myself the big jug of the blue juice, pop the hood open, and pour that in there like a mechanic. I'm like a mechanic for that brief moment.
Well, let's change your verbiage. It's really just adding wiper fluid because you're not changing anything.
I feel like that's true. I'm not changing it. That's like changing the oil for me.
Take the old fluid out, put new fluid in.
Yeah, that's a 100% true story.
I don't know where the wiper fluid belongs in the car.
You stay away. I'm telling you, you're better off not knowing.
I have no interest in it.
Same here.
Yeah.
People do that all the time. Like the whole thing with my fiance's car that I didn't know what to do when I opened up the hood, which I did not. Oh, you're not a man. Like, hey, you know what happened to me this weekend? My battery died. You know what I did? I called AAA.
Of course.
They were there in 40 minutes.
Of course.
My guy Javier.
40
minutes. My guy Javier replaced the battery, tested it. It was dead. Replaced the battery. 5 minutes. Gave him $200 on his way.
$200.
Yeah.
Good grief. Call me next time. I'll be there in 30 minutes.
Are you kidding me? They came to my house.
Yeah, no, I
changed the battery for me.
I love that. I try to have coverage for all things. I get the coverage that comes with the car dealer, the AAA. I get it through Progressive. I have coverage everywhere. So if I get a flat tire, I mobilize the troops. I have 7 or 8 different companies coming to fix the flat.
Y'all need to get your testosterone up, man. Goodness gracious.
I'll wrap up headlines here, fake headlines, this entire segment with an apology to Crowder and Jimmy. I lashed out at you guys. I'm sorry. I was very frustrated. And clearly, whatever you did worked, Crowder. So thank you. And I apologize for lashing out at both of you dummies.
Well, if you're apologizing, I want an apology for you talking to me like I was a second grader earlier today.
Well, I mean, I wasn't part of it, but I have to imagine that you probably earned that tone.
But what about on the way out? We have it fixed. He said, oh, you sound great. This is the button you push. Go to these settings. Okay, man, I'll holler at you. Holler at you in a couple hours. Okay, big man, just leave the computer alone now.
But that's the right thing to say, though. It's like, hey, don't get ahead of yourself here. Just walk away from your computer. Don't touch anything.
Okay there, bud. Just leave that computer alone.
Your weather in South Florida, it is hot. Tonight, the lows will be in the 70s. I will just say the Heat play tonight at 8. They're in Minnesota. Tyler Hero is expected back. And the Panthers play the Maple Leafs tonight in Toronto. That'll be on AM 560.
All right. Aronde Gadsden's going to join us next. I do want to talk Dolphins with him, but also there's this percolating McRib story that interests me. I don't know if you saw McDonald's getting sued, a class action lawsuit from people saying there is no rib meat in the McRib. And personally, that makes it even more delightful to me.
Like, what is it?
Who cares? If you can make something taste, looks, smells like ribs, and there's no ribs in there, my God, what can we do next? So I think it's a feather in their cap, to be quite honest.
We all knew that was cardboard.
I want to get Aronde's opinion of that in the next segment. So don't go anywhere. Aronde Gadsden next.
Y'all got to go to Tootsie's Cabaret. It is the largest strip club in the entire world. Head over there, watch these playoff games, watch the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, anything you are doing, go to Tootsie's. Check it out. They have dozens of TVs. They have 4 full liquor, full spacious bars. I'm telling you, secure parking. You got to head to Tootsie's. They're open from noon to 6 a.m. The largest strip club in the world. Get 18 hours of wonderful entertainment, food specials, $100 bottles, and half-price drinks every single day till 8 p.m. And you got to go there on Sundays. Sunday, I always tell you, tailgate, you got to worry about the weather, the bugs, is it hot, is it cold? Go to Tootsie's from noon to 5 p.m. every single Sunday. You have the tailgate takeover, a $10 menu, chicken wings, smash burger with fries, fried shrimp fries, cheese pizza, and chicken nachos are only $10 from noon to 5 p.m. on Sundays. The big bar in the back, they have a sports bar in the back with pool tables. And if you're watching the game, goes a commercial break. There's going to be dozens of TVs on, but I'm telling you, there's going to be something beautiful, great entertainers on stage to entertain you on the downtime. Go to Tootsie's Cabaret. I've been going there for 20 years. I'm going to go there for the next 20 years. Tootsie's Cabaret. Go to tootsiescabaret.com for more information.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I think we need to implement every day on this show 4 o'clock, clotted butter, and scone. Oh, today's show is making me smile and laugh. Jimmy, I told you in the 2 o'clock hour to play Method of Modern Love from Hall & Oates because he's been with Method Man, and it's 3:36, and I have yet to hear it.
It's coming up.
All right.
OFLOVE.
METHOD.
I like it.
We should give that to DJ for next season. I'm not giving him anything for the remaining 2 games.
I think he's done that before.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think we gave him Method Man and we gave him Method of Modern Love as well.
Yeah, because I think I think Joe Z said man, right?
Yeah.
I think so, unless I'm anyway. Aranda Gadsden's on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline, OG receiver for the Dolphins for many seasons, and his son in his first season with the Chargers is preparing for a playoff game at New England on Sunday night. OG, like the son has a chance to go win an NFL playoff game in his first season, which is something the Dolphins haven't done in 25 seasons, which is wild. But Aranda, it seems like Mike McDaniel is probably going to return to the Dolphins for his 5th season as head coach.
Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo!
Could you make the case? I know you're being sarcastic, but if I said to you, hey, you have to make the case that he does need to come back next season, could you? Or are you so far beyond Mike McDaniel that you cannot even come up with any reason that he should be back?
Kind of torn. I think the problem is we've seen this movie trailer before, whereas somebody, let's take that New England game. You know what I mean? Like Josh McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he didn't quite get it together. And so, where I think, Coach McDaniel is a great offensive mind, can he lead 53 men in the battle 18 weeks? I'm not sure, that part of it works. So, if they decide to give him another chance, they give him another chance. It's just, now we have to, see what the quarterback situation is. He said it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a competition. A competition of who? With who? Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers, and who's the competition with? You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins, who's the competition with? And, you have to think about it. I go back to the same thing. I hate to sound like a broken record in the situation, but the teams, even now, the teams that are good and the teams that are, going into the playoffs have guys that are veterans, that lead the team, and we still don't have that, whether he's the coach or not. I know Brock Purdy is the quarterback of San Francisco, but he's not the leader of the team. He's not calling the meetings. Like Fred Warner calling the meeting. You know what I mean? Like that. And we just don't have that. And, just like you look at Minnesota, is J.J. McCarthy, I see the C on his chest, but is he really the captain? You know what I'm saying? Is he really the captain? So, those are the things I think are more important than him just being the head coach. I think he has to have when everybody has the veteran committee that makes decision on what goes on, I think he has to have that. And we've seen it stronger than, the actual coach, and it works that way as well. So bringing him back to the head coach is, I don't know if that's really the first hurdle we have to get over.
And I'm not defending him, OG, but we were talking about it yesterday, where if you give McDaniel a Drake May, you give McDaniel a Caleb Williams, which you saw Ben Johnson, what he did in Chicago with him. If you give him one of these young, great quarterbacks, could this offense work? Could he figure out to a phrase that you coined on this show, have a plan B when they figure out what he's doing initially? If you give him a great quarterback, could McDaniels call a good offense?
I think he can, but once again, how long is it going to take us to figure that out? You know what I mean? I think, Ben Johnson figured it out. Yeah, Ben Johnson figured it out because he saw him. He played against him. You know what I mean? we saw Drake May. We're not about to get Drake May. We're not about to get Josh Allen. Who's that guy that you have targeted to say, hey, that's who I want, and that's who's, like the guy in New York didn't do it. I thought that was a good fit. I said, the head coach before was, he got Dart started. I was like, oh man, he probably gonna make Dart like he made Josh Allen. Didn't work. They fired him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even make it through the season. So who is that guy? Once again, where is that guy? Do you think it's one of the guys in the draft? Is it a guy in the NFL portal? Who is the guy? I don't know. So that's the time now we have to wait again. We got to wait another 3 years for us to find a guy for us to get back to the 70-20 game we played against the Broncos. That
if we got another 70 burger coming, then I'll wait. That's
3 more years.
That's all right. I'm willing to wait on that one. Do you think, Arande, I know how you feel about Tua, and obviously the Dolphins are done with him. Do you think Tua Tagovailoa could be a effective, above average starting quarterback for some team in the NFL?
I don't know. We thought the same thing about Sam Darnold, and he turned out to be. That's what I'm saying. It takes years to figure it out at that position, unless you just got it or got somebody that works with you. Like I say, the New England situation is probably the best. You know what I mean? Like Drake May got in with Josh McDaniels, and he's excited because this is the same playbook Tom Brady had, blah, blah, blah. And it's working. It's working. I hope it doesn't work Sunday night, but it's working. You know what I mean? So for that to happen, I don't know. Could Tua be a stopgap for somebody? Maybe he may just be in the lane of all the, these other Hawaiian quarterbacks. Marcus Mariota made a nice career. He comes in for Daniels and works out for 2-3 games. You know what I'm saying? Looks good. You know what I mean? But a whole 2-3 years, I don't know. The
I just
offense
wonder
definitely
if anyone would covet him as their starting quarterback, not just for like a stop. You say no, Crowder, but not just for a stopgap. Like, hey, there's a guy who's
listen, not at $54 million.
Well, right,
yeah.
I don't think there's anybody
at 8.
I don't think
$8 million. I'll take 2 at 8.
Right.
I'll take 2 at 8. No problem.
Fella, you can't tell a dude to take a $46 million pay cut and come start for me.
He ain't gonna be a 40. Listen. He can. What he gonna do? He gonna be a bad guy. Listen. He had Trey Lance, and I saw Trey Lance play that last game, and they said Trey Lance, just like Zach Wilson, they've made $42 million. Zach Wilson has made over $30 million.
Well, Tua's going to have made about $250 million when it's all said and done.
Right,
that money's guaranteed, right?
So sit tight. Go into Minnesota and back up J.J. McCarthy. He may get 2 or 3 games. Oh no, he can't go to Minnesota.
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
They go slap each other day one.
Over there. My bad example.
Go anywhere but Minnesota.
Yeah, you go anywhere but Minnesota. You could go somewhere. Go to Tennessee or something. I don't know. But, he has to get in the situation. See, the offense has to fit the quarterback. Like you see, all the coaches fired got bad quarterback situations. Arizona, I don't know who was quarterback out there. Even in Atlanta, I think Raheem did a good job, but they drafted a quarterback, paid a quarterback $180. Yeah, they don't know what they got going on. So Stefanski had 5 quarterbacks to start the season. It's not a good situation. You got to have a good quarterback situation for this thing to work out swimmingly. You know what I mean? And Tua has to find that situation at this point because, the guy he had in his corner was Mike McDaniel, and I heard Mike McDaniel say there's going to be a competition for the quarterback position. I'm like, oh man, that's worse than saying it'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? It'll be dope. It'll be dope. Really?
Hey, OG, no one can speak on this situation in South Florida better than you because Troy Aikman solved a lot of your problems while y'all were playing together. Is Troy going to be able to solve the problem in Miami? Because it's very weird to me that he's coming down here.
That is true. He argued against Malik the Monkey.
Right, he argued about Malik being in the locker room, but we got over it. I left. That's how we handled it. He stayed and I left. pretty simple.
We came to an agreement. He was the starting quarterback. I was barely on the roster, and I had a monkey. I left.
All right. I decided to leave. Bad situation for me.
1-0 OG.
I can't keep triggering me. Think I'm gonna stay.
I'll show you.
I'll show you. It's tough to say that in this, I guess in this situation. For you to ask me that, like I know, like I mean, Troy, don't we have our own Hall of Fame quarterback?
Kind of.
I mean, his
That's exactly.
Bad. You know what I'm saying? Is his eyes bad? Like you need a new set of eyes. Like the man told you to take Justin Herbert. You ain't take him. His eyes wouldn't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know. I guess he has a different perspective from that. Seeing it as an analyst week in and week out, you do get to go into these locker rooms and see, but I don't think he gets to see the general manager people. You know what I'm saying? Does he talk to them all the time? I don't think so. So, listen, I guess you can't have enough of them. If you get 5 Hall of Fame quarterbacks to make decisions, you just, who you going to throw it off on then? You know what I mean? So that's
so Troy is Dan seeing human.
Right.
Probably more of a statement on Dan than it is on hiring Troy.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, real quick, Aronde, we're out of time, but I got to ask you real quick. There's this class action lawsuit from plaintiffs who are saying there is no rib meat in the McRib, and my personal opinion is that I think that makes the McRib even more delightful because wow, what technology they've put together to make a sandwich that delicious called the McRib that has no rib meat in it. I actually crave it more because of this class action lawsuit. I'm curious your opinion because you and I both love the McRib.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it makes it that more unique
right.
That they took, some rib-like meat and made it McRib. So I thought the first suit would be because it didn't have actual bones, because it looks like it has bones in it. If you see the ridges, right? Like,
actually,
whoa, do I got to bite around the bones?
If there's money to be made, if there's money to be made, let's file a class action suit that there's no bones in the McRib.
Right. Not gonna be a rib and it don't have bones. What kind of rib is that? But they took it out. I just want one rib.
So
it will one McRib bone.
It will not stop you from getting the McRib during McRib season.
Absolutely not. If they had a pickle suit, like how many pickles you want, that might be all right.
Pickle suit.
It is not made out of rib meat. Come on, people.
Yeah, I mean, what are you expecting?
Let it go.
To me, that's like going to Denny's and complaining that the soup is watery. You're at Denny's. Like, what are you expecting? The
fellas.
Lobster bisque?
Yeah. Kirkland was ranked #1 vodka. Really?
Yeah.
You really? New York Times? Really?
That's fake news.
Really?
Total fake.
So a chicken sandwich with no chicken, a hamburger with no beef, a rib sandwich with no rib. Come on, fellas.
burger.
Like, think about it.
Depends how good it tastes. If it tastes as good as the McRib does for ribs, I'm all in. Like, I don't care. I'll live in the Matrix.
Listen, if you put the ribs back in the McRib you put the ribs back in the McRib and put a bunch of them in the pan at the cookout, people still eat them. They don't care.
I'll tell you what, you start putting rib meat in the McRib and it changes the flavor of the non-rib McRib. I don't want it.
Yeah. You remember what they did?
Yeah.
You remember what they did? You remember what they did, Channing? They were like, "Oh, we want to change the nuggets to the dark meat because it was white meat. Now we got we don't want that. We want what it was before.
Right.
We want the regular. We don't want you to switch in the middle of the stream. We've been eating this.
Man, I'm telling you, they debuted those McNuggets in '79. You never tasted tastier beaks and feathers and talons.
Right.
Now it's like real chicken. I ain't got time for that.
Come on. You switching in the middle of the stream, man. Every time somebody do this, it goes down.
We know what we like. It's like New Coke versus Coca-Cola Classic. Don't mess with
New Coke.
Key to the McRib is the sauce. Put the sauce on a brick and put it in the sandwich.
My teeth can't get through that one, OG.
Yeah, no, we don't want yours. We don't want you to bite into it.
All right, we'll see you. Harambe.
How can I lose one tooth? You're going to lose all of them, all 32 crack. like in the cartoon, crack. Oh, Lord, they're running. It's a running crack. Yeah.
We wish you
down on the bottom.
We wish your son good luck on Sunday night. We want to see the Patriots lose, and we want to see him do well. So we're rooting for him.
I'll be in the cold, man. Thanks, I appreciate it, guys. Happy New Year to everybody.
All right, Gadsden. Happy New Year. Let's take a break. 4:00 hour. Jim Larinaga is going to join us for the entire hour. So's Joe Zagacki. Take a break. 4:00 hour is next.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
You're not going to learn anything about sports on this show. I'm sorry. You're not. But I know McDonald's.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop massive savings on a massive Chevy inventory, all backed by Morse.
Hey, Coach. You hear me? What's up, Coach?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And you hear me okay?
I hear you great. I'm trying to figure out if I'm hearing you in here.
Right. I was just going to walk you through that. So do you want to check if you click on the gear, the settings gear at the bottom of StreamYard?
Yeah.
And then you go to audio and just double check that the mic and speaker both say Logitech.
How come it's not coming up? That's not even an option. They're low definition, high definition. Something different's happening.
Where are you looking at, Coach?
I'm looking at camera and camera resolution. Maybe I have to go to audio.
Yeah, audio.
I'm on Logi or Logi.
Okay, for both mic and speaker.
Mic and speaker, yep.
All right, perfect. We're good to go. We'll be back in a few seconds here, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Coach.
There you go, Jimmy. That's what I'm talking about. Jim Larinaga is going to join us for the entire hour. He's going to sit in with us for headlines, and he's going to sit in with us when Joe Zagacki joins us from Glendale, Arizona. And so I'm watching during the break, and people who watch the stream on YouTube are getting some behind-the-scenes video today. Crowder, as you can see, Coach, is in New Jersey. You're in New Jersey or New York? New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Weehawken. And, Coach, you're in Coral Gables, right?
Yes, I am, but I'm leaving tomorrow morning bright and early
for
Phoenix, Arizona and the Fiesta Bowl.
Solana is having a day because you are technologically inept, Coach, and I say that with great respect. And Crowder is more technologically inept than you. And Solana, during the beginning of the show, was trying to get Crowder connected, and he was losing his mind. And right before we came out with Coach wanted to make sure his microphone could work or whatever. And Solana, now he does talk differently to Coach than he does you, Crowder.
Oh, he talked nasty to me, Coach.
I mean, he lets Crowder have it. But Solana was saying to Coach L, like, hey, let's make sure the audio's coming through your headphones, go to settings, where the gear is, then look at audio and make sure you're on Logitech. And Coach was saying, it says, I'm looking at the drop down and it says high def or low def. And Solana was like, well, didn't want to tell Coach, but like, hey, you're looking at the video drop down. You're not looking at the audio drop down. But I'm just watching Solana because I know the day that he's had. It's only 4:07. and he's still got a Heat broadcast to do tonight. The game doesn't even start till 8 o'clock. And he just wants to cry. Like, I'm watching him, coach. He said to me during the commercial break, he goes, I don't know. I got to go back into the studio. Like, I can't, I like now he wants to take Jimmy's role away from the studio. Solana's all over the place. Coach, give him a coaching pep talk. Not everything is peaches and cream every game.
Hey, Solana, you've got a great game plan, and you're doing a great job of coaching two guys who Hoch described as totally inept when it comes to technology. So it's like coaching a really bad player, but then you expect them to execute at a very high level.
Right. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad lesson, right, Coach? You can't say, hey, this is the triangle offense that we're running. When you know you have a player that is incapable of running the triangle offense, that's actually on you to expect he'd be able to run it.
Call the triangle offense, a lot of players think is some kind of geometry test. They have no idea what that's all about. Phil Jackson, he knew, and his really good players, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, they knew. But some of those guys at the end of the bench had no clue what he was talking about.
Hey, Coach, with this analogy, if Solana's the coach and we're the players, when I don't know what's going on, I just smile real big and start shaking my head. Do you have any players that you know they don't know a word of what you're saying, but they just smile and nod?
Oh, you know what I love? When you talk to someone who doesn't speak English and you're speaking English to them and ask them, do you understand? And they nod. They don't understand a word, but they're nodding. Yes, yeah.
The worst thing, I speak English and I still do the same thing, Coach.
Yep. Yeah.
No idea what he says.
Anyway, Jim Larinaga, he coached the Hurricanes basketball team to a Final Four appearance, and now we get a Final Four appearance on the football side. So what a university. So you're heading to the Fiesta Bowl, Coach. You're leaving tomorrow?
I leave tomorrow morning bright and early. My wife and I are flying out there and cheer on the Canes. And I appreciate you guys having me on today. I normally on Wednesday, but I'll be in the air. And to talk football, Hoch, you even said I could talk some football today. Normally, there's no football conversation. So I give you a little bit of my football brilliance and analogies if you ask me a question.
I told him this morning, I said, Coach, I mean, we're football heavy with the Dolphins and the Hurricanes, and we're not going to have time to talk basketball. I said, so why don't you just come on and hang out with us, chop it up on football a little bit. What was your experience like in Dallas for the game against Ohio State?
Yeah, I didn't go.
You didn't? Oh, I thought you went.
No, I planned on it, but it didn't work out. I was home. I watched it on TV, and that's one of the great wins. And then the Ole Miss Georgia game was a sensational game too. So these two teams are coming in playing at a very high level, and you know, the crowd, the people who are going to be at the Fiesta Bowl are going to be treated to a tremendous game, and the people watching on TV who can watch instant replay and listen to the broadcast, they're going to be tuned in from start to finish, because this one is going to be one to remember.
Now, I know the Texas A&M game, you were in the end zone standing in seats with the common folk. Is that going to be the case?
I don't know where I don't know where our seats are, you know, where we'll be sitting, whether it'll be in the end zone again or at midfield. But we're sitting in the Miami section. Everybody will be wearing white. It's a whiteout for the Miami fans. So if you're watching on TV, you better be wearing white.
So we'll be able to recognize you in the crowd when they're showing a crowd shot. We'll be the guy in white.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the guy a foot taller than everybody else. One of the two.
That too. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh no, I was going to ask, Coach, do you like the Texas A&M style games, or do you want more of those 45-40 games?
Oh no, I'm an offensive guy. When I played basketball, I never met a shot I didn't like. I wanted to outscore the other team, get to 80, 90, even 100. You know, the way the Heat are going right now. And I sent Solana a link to Steve Kerr talking about how now the Golden State Warriors are basically not running set plays either.
Right.
Now, I want to go analogy to football. It's the opposite in football. You can't just, give a team an idea of how to play and let them just read and react. That's actually expression in basketball, the read and react offense, where you put in a concept like a ball screen, and now everybody knows what to do and how to react depending on how the defense covers you. In football, especially going against a high-scoring team like Mississippi, they're going to be, trying to read our defense, but they're going to be the guys on the sideline up in the booth. They're going to be calling plays to try to get Trinidad Chambliss going, because he's the whole key to this game.
Well, let me do something real quick, because I know I said we don't have time for basketball, but we have to do 15 minutes of Heat. We'll do a very abbreviated version. It's sponsored by Durrell Kia, home of the Pricito, their lowest price. Visit them at Durrell Kia or DurrellKia.com. Solana will have preheat for you tonight starting at 6:45. Game tips off at 8. You want to go ahead and talk about tonight's Heat game? What do we know about Anthony Edwards? Is he going to play?
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see any sort of major update. Remember, the NBA does release the injury reports every about 30 to 45 minutes now. So I'll give you the most recent one, which comes out in 10 minutes, right before the end of headlines. But the Heat will play tonight. And what's interesting here, Coach, is the other night, Tyler Hero was available, went through layup lines before the game. He was dressed to play. But Eric Spoelstra said before the game, this is part of his ramp-up process. He won't play. Tyler was asked about that today. And he said, I don't know why we did that. That's never happened to me before. And then he was asked if there's a minutes restriction because he's available tonight. And he said, I don't know. And everything was very coy by Tyler Hero. And then he was asked by Ira Winderman whether he'd be a starter tonight or off the bench. And he said, I'm not sure. Ask the head coach. So there is something...
little something percolating there, Coach.
I don't know. Don't read too much into it.
Oh, that's what I do.
That is true.
Yeah, I like.
Here's what I think. Spo is planning. Do you know the 7 habits of highly effective people? Habit 1 is be proactive, meaning plan ahead. So Spo is planning. And he hasn't maybe shared his plan with Tyler, except, hey, get ready, get dressed. If we need you, you might play. But if he doesn't play him, maybe it just gives Tyler one more day of rest. Will he play tonight? Your guess is as good as mine. But I think it's coming soon. Would he start? Me, I doubt that very much, because I think the first thing you have to do is get in game shape. And you have a starter, you bring him off the bench, it makes your bench a little stronger. So you plan on him for the next 2 or 3 games coming in off the bench and see how he functions with the team. How many games has he missed now? 20-something?
31.
31.
Is it 31?
He's 31 out of 37 games, right?
This is game number 37 because they're 20 and 16. He has played in 6 games this season. He and Norman Powell, I believe the number is 4 games that they've shared the court together.
And that's I'm sure what Spo is trying to do, figure out a way to get his 2 high-octane scorers on the court together, healthy and playing well. But at the same time, the guys who've been putting in the work for these last 25 games, you got to respect the job that they've done. And you don't want to end up hurting one of them. I hate to say it, hurt their feelings, but that's really what happens. The personalities you're dealing with, guys will get upset. Why didn't I start? I've been starting, or you know what I mean? Spo's going to do what's best for the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero's got to be ready when called upon. That's all there is to it.
Tonight, by the way, the game, you can hear it here on 104.3 FM WQAM. If you want to watch it, it's the NBA on NBC. This is the Heat's lone appearance in prime time network television, NBA on NBC. That is tonight. You can watch it. Let's do a quick look at the headlines before Joe Zagacki joins us. Headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
It's the first time the Heat will play on NBC going back to 2002,
Wow.
April 7th of 2002. Anthony Edwards still questionable, by the way. That's the latest from Minnesota. Several different ways we could take headlines here, but there's a lot of NFL notes happening right now. Kevin Stefanski is reportedly going to interview for a couple different jobs, which I don't think anybody is surprised about.
No.
Would you take him over Mike McDaniel, Crowder? If you had a choice, because they really do have a choice between Mike McDaniel and Kevin Stefanski.
And I would want something different than Mike McDaniel. I think Kevin Stefanski was in a terrible situation. They drafted all those quarterbacks. The Browns weren't good when he got there. He didn't fix them, but they didn't help him. But I trust him more than Mike McDaniel. I really do.
He's going to interview now, according to Adam Schefter, tomorrow for the Giants head coaching job. But he has spoken to several different teams already.
All right.
The Dolphins, they made some signings, some early signings for next season. They do this at the end of every year. Future contracts for A.J. Henning, wide receiver, Alex Huntley, defensive tackle, Casey Osai, who's a linebacker, Josh Preby and Keon Smith, their offensive linemen. But probably the most notable name here, I think Dolphins fans would be happy about, is linebacker Derek McClendon, who got some run at the end of the season and happened to be pretty good.
By the way, Ian Rappaport says the Arizona Cardinals have requested permission to interview Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins DC. And I know there was another team yesterday that had asked to interview
Cardinals?
Titans.
No, Titans.
Titans. Why are we signing people with no GM? Let the next GM sign people. I don't know who this Osei guy is.
Yeah,
Let the guy come in and sign.
Not certain these guys are going to be difference makers.
Goodness gracious.
There's a lot going on since our show ended yesterday regarding Trae Young. To take it back to the NBA, Trae Young, according to Shams Charania, he and his team, his agent, they're working with the Atlanta Hawks to find a trade partner. So it appears the Trae Young era in Atlanta is coming to an end.
What does he coach? He can't be the number one on a team. He can be a 2, a 3. Like what can Trae Young be?
He can score, but beyond that, he's not a great defender. He doesn't rebound. He does pass the ball. He does share it. He gets a lot of assists, but it's hard for a guy like that. And, they said he was going to be the next Steph Curry, and he's come close to that. He's still a young guy. He's been in the league like 7 years now, but he's only probably 27, 28 years old. So he's got plenty of playing time ahead of him. But, whoever picks him up, you got to know that the way he contributes is only at the offensive end.
You see OKC, coach, they're 6-6 in their last 12. We thought they were going to run away and contend for that 73-9 record from the 2016-17 Warriors.
San Antonio broke their spirit.
They broke them. Wemby broke the Thunder.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr got ejected in a game yesterday. Snoop Dogg was on the call. Did any of you guys see that video?
I did.
Snoop Dogg
That was funny.
is ramping up because he's going to be on the NBC Winter Olympics coverage that's coming up in February. Remember he did it when it was in Paris?
Yep.
He was like everywhere in Paris for all the USA team coverage. Yeah, the Hornets beat the Thunder yesterday. Insane.
Wow.
Insane. So the Panthers, to round out headlines, they're going to play the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. That'll be in Toronto, north of the border. That game will be on AM 560. Tonight's Heat game will be on FM 104.3. Your weather in South Florida, partly cloudy, sunny. It's in the 80s. That is your weather.
All right, Joe Zagacki is going to join us from Arizona in the next segment, and Coach is hanging out with us, and we're going to have some fun looking ahead towards Canes Ole Miss. Men, the new year is here, and improving your health may be one of your big resolutions. But listen, if you're tired, you're low on energy, you're not sleeping well, you're not seeing progress in the gym, you might not be able to stay committed to your resolutions. But that's where Atlantic Men's Clinic comes in. They can help with that. Low testosterone causes a host of problems, and maybe that's what you're suffering from. Those include low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog. And a lot of guys just attribute that to aging, and you don't consider there's treatments that can give you back your vibrancy. So if you're feeling like that, it's time for you to treat that low T and change your life. I love my weekly visit to Atlantic Men's Clinic for my testosterone shot. I was there today. I go on Tuesdays. I'm 56 years old. I'm telling you, I wish I had started with Atlantic Men's Clinic sooner. So make a consultation. Learn more about it. You go there. They do your lab work. They have your results within 30 minutes. And then a Florida licensed medical provider reviews your results with you and discusses your options. It is so easy, and it's such a game changer. There's 7 locations now in South Florida, including their new office in Hollywood. So call them today at 877-455-7300. That's 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
Socrates once said, "You don't know what your body can do until it does it."
Yeah. Little Billy Idol. Little Joe Zagacki. So I'm in the studio in Miami with Solana and Jimmy. Crowder is in New Jersey. Did a Pivot podcast episode with Method Man today. And Jim Larinaga is at his house in Coral Gables. He is with us. And Joe Zagacki, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes, is on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. And Joe is in Glendale, Arizona, site of the Fiesta Bowl on Thursday night. Joe, how exciting is all of this?
Actually, right now, I'm riding shotgun with our engineer, Oscar. We're in Scottsdale.
Oh, you're in
on
Scottsdale.
McDonald Drive, the corner of Everett, Gordon, and McDonald Drive in Scottsdale.
Where we on a little road trip? Where are you headed?
Now we're headed to Media Day, so we're going to go listen to the University of Miami talk about being in the Final Four, which, Hoch, is very, very exciting. And since you have Coach L with you, a couple of years ago, I was with Coach L at the Final Four, and now I'm in the football Final Four. So this has been a blast. It's 5 straight weeks. University of Miami football team has been on the road, trying to make it 5 in a row on the road. It's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
Coach, do you miss your conversations with Joe?
Oh yeah, Joe and I are buddies. We're pals. We go way back 15 years now, Joe.
But you used to
did our first game.
Before every game, though, you and Joe would have conversations leading up to the game and talking about the game plan. And I know Joe looked forward to those. Did you look forward to that, or was that a pain in your ass?
Oh, no. I loved it. I get to talk basketball to Joe Z. Here's what I love. If I share information with Joe, in the back of my mind is, okay, Joe's going to use that on the broadcast, and that'll make me look good. Because right, Joe Z?
Absolutely. Hoch, we were at the Barclays Center, though. One of the funniest, we're at the Barclays Center for the ACC tournament a couple years ago, playing Boston College, and we had to wait because we were the second game. So Coach and I started walking around the Barclays Center, looking at all the pictures of all the concerts and performers, and ESPN kept following us for like a half an hour. And so I was in Coach L's world, and that was kind of funny. We had some pretty good adventures.
Coach L's world is a great world, yeah, Joe?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Joe, I'm coming out. Liz and I are on a plane tomorrow. We'll be out in Phoenix. I'm having a hors d'oeuvres with James Jones, the former Miami Heat, Miami Hurricane, great player. I called him yesterday or the day before and asked him if he was going to be in Phoenix because that's where he lives. He said, "No, I'm going to be in New York." I said, "Well, I was going to invite you to dinner and then the game." He said, "Okay, I'll cancel New York." So he's going to join us in the Hurricane Club for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres at 5, and then dinner, and then the great game. Hey, Joe, I've got my analysis of Trinidad Chambliss. You want to hear it?
Yeah, he's a point guard.
You remember Earl Boykins for Eastern Michigan, and then played in the NBA for 14 years?
Earl Boykins.
Yeah.
You guys remember him? We tried to blitz Earl Boykins when I was at Bowling Green, and couldn't do it. He carved us. All right, and then we tried to blitz Alondas Williams from Wake Forest, and we forced 9 turnovers. You remember that one?
Yeah, he threw about 5 of those, about 6 rows deep in the stands.
So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen on Thursday night. That if we blitz this guy, we've got a great defense. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I hope we can corral him like we did Alondas Williams, and I hope it's not another Earl Boykins.
Well, let Joe give us your analysis. What do you think is going to happen Thursday night? Because I've maintained, Texas A&M, that was impressive, and I thought the toughest team that they were going to face would be Ohio State. They never blinked, never had a problem with them. So I'm wondering what you're expecting Thursday night.
Well, right now I'm hoping I get to the game. I'm with Oscar. It's probably a bad sign. We're driving on some little road that says dead end. So I hope we get out of this mess. Meanwhile, Hoch and Coach, 2 weeks ago, I was in Mississippi because we played basketball there, and they brought their team out on the floor at halftime, and the quarterback stood right in front of me. And at the time, Miami was not yet in the playoff, and I thought to myself, can we play these guys? And Chambliss stood right in front of me, and I thought, man, he looks more like a point guard for basketball than a quarterback because of his size. They list him at 6 foot, some say 6'1". He's not, but he's been dynamic, played a great game against Georgia, the best game of his life. And so can he repeat that would be the question for Ole Miss. He made some throws on the run that were incredible. Now, Miami got a huge defensive line that's very fast, very active. Got 12 sacks in these 2 playoff games, have really badgered the quarterback. And my sense is that Corey Heatherman, you got 2 problems. You got the quarterback who's really accurate and can run around, and you got these wide receivers for Ole Miss. They have 5 of them with 500 yards or more receiving. They're very, very good. The question is, do you try to jam them and redirect them at the line of scrimmage and allow your rush to get to Chambliss? That's one approach. But if you miss on your jam, then there's a good chance they're going to get the ball deep. So be interested to see how Corey Heatherman plays it. I think that he's going to try to redirect the receivers, and then a very important part of this game is going to be open field tackling, where Ole Miss kills their opponent. Is the receivers catch it for 8 yards, but by the time they're done running, it's 40 yards. So Miami's secondary has to be really, really good with their open field tackling. But I would look for a lot of pressure on Chambliss, and I would look for Miami to get their arms up and into the passing lanes because of his size to try to get a lot of deflections.
Hey, Joe, I got it figured out. I was on your page. You press, you jam bail. You have Mesidor and Bain coming off the edges, which they're not going to be able to block those guys consistently. But you have to have a spy, and you spy Chambliss as he's trying to run around and all that. You have one of your fastest, most athletic linebackers chase him down and tackle him. We win the game.
Yeah, they had a good spy on Marcel Reed. They did a good job. I think the game plan is more similar to Texas A&M than Ohio State in terms of the pass rush. With Marcel Reed, they kind of boxed him in. With Julian Sagan, they just went right after him. But with Marcel Reed, they were a little more, I guess, slow walking their pass rush to make sure there were no lanes for him to slip through. Because this kid Chambliss, he's a very good runner. He's dynamic, and he can beat you with his legs. So you got to be careful on that. If he steps up and you give up your passing lane, as you know, Channing, then he's going to take off and pick up another 20 yards or so. But I'm sure they'll have a spy assigned to him as well.
Hey, Joe, I asked this, I think, of Gino Torretta last week, and I just wonder where you stand on it. When you think of, the iconic Hurricanes players that have come through this program, you go back, right? You think of the Ed Reeds, and I'm talking from like that 2000 era or beyond. There's so many different players that you think of, just like legendary Canes players. Are the current group of players right now for Miami, the Malachi Tonys, Ruben Bain, are those guys already in that type of conversation, or do they need to win a natty to be considered like legendary Canes?
Well, I don't think you can be legendary without having some other, some great accomplishment. What they've done so far has been tremendous. It has Miami back on the big stage. But I don't know if I'd make Malachi Toney legendary with Michael Irvin just yet. I think maybe we slow down on that one. Bain and Mesidor certainly are writing a script toward that, but there's a lot of work to be done with those guys in that category. Deontay Scott had a legendary play. It will go down in University of Miami history forever, much like Ed Reed against Boston College back in 2001. We took the ball away from Matt Walters, but they were able to finish that season with a championship. And, that's what this team is hoping to do as well.
What's Mario's mood, Joe? Is he all business? Is he just thrilled that they're this far along? Like, what's his mood?
I guess that depends on where you get him. Probably Coach could relate to this. I think, on the practice field, in the media, he's all business. I think around his players, Coach L would tell you at this time of the year, you're not going to run any faster, jump any higher. You need to be mentally better than your opponent, and you also need to find some joy in this. It can't all be, smashing your helmet against the goalpost. There's got to be joy in this. So I think Mario around his team in the locker room and when the practice is over, I think he's trying to make sure that there's some joy in this for these players so that they're making some memories with their teammates. And I think that all of those things goes a long way in your mental preparation and trying to relax your team. Listen, there's a lot of pressure in this stuff. Miami's been under the gun since the first week of November. They lost to SMU November 1st. So since November 1st, they've been playing playoff football, and every game the stakes have been higher. Well, I don't think you can keep reminding your team, that's what you're playing for. You got to find, I'm sure Coach would agree with me, some fun in this. And I think Mario's doing a pretty good job with that. Two sides of Mario. He's going to be the very business, all serious, as we saw him last week when at the coach's press conference with Coach Day. Mario was all business, but around his players at times, I think he's trying to find a way to back off the gas pedal a little bit.
Coach L lost his connection, Joe. That's why you're not hearing him comment on what you're saying there. Are there a lot of festivities going on for the Fiesta Bowl? Like, is it the way that you would expect for a semifinal game?
No. Last week, the Cotton Bowl, the way this thing is set up now with the bowls and the playoffs, last week the Cotton Bowl was more of a typical bowl game. There were more festivities, although not a lot. But we were in Dallas longer, I guess we were. Maybe not. We're all starting to run together. But here for the Fiesta Bowl, we have a press conference today, and the coaches talk tomorrow, and that's it. Other than that, it's all business for the teams. And there are no other. Maybe there are a few media events. I'm not even sure. It's kind of all business for us also. But it's not like the old days, Hawk, when you went to a bowl game for 7 days and every single night they had some other kind of event. Not quite like that anymore. Now you're playing for these championships and the Final Four and all that stuff. So it's more business.
What do you make of Ole Miss? I mean, obviously we know Lane Kiffin wasn't there from the start of the playoff run, but what do you make of the Ole Miss coaching carousel, essentially, where you've got coaches who are coaching for the Georgia game, but now they're not going to be coaching for the Miami game? It's kind of a little broken, no?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. There's no way around not saying it's a mess and not saying that it's a distraction. That being said, I did spend time last night when we got here with some of the Miami coaches, and they feel like it has galvanized the players, that the players have rallied around that situation, and it's part of the reason why they've had success in the playoffs. So Miami knows psychologically that Ole Miss is a very dangerous team. Now, all that being said, I'm not sure how you lay out a game plan on offense. Charlie Weiss Jr. is 32 years old. To me, that's, pretty young for an offensive coordinator in this type of situation, and having guys come and go and doing different jobs and not studying Miami and going up against Corey Heatherman's defense. To me, if you're in this game, it requires every ounce of energy that you would have as a coach to prepare for the stuff that Miami's going to throw at this team. And Ole Miss doesn't have that. Now, their coach, Pete Golding, came out and said, we got 1 million guys on our coaching staff, and we got this analyst and that analyst, so we're going to be fine. I still think, man, that's really hard. I think it's a big, big distraction. But ultimately, they're going to snap the football, and this kid Chambliss, he's able to make plays outside of anything that's called. So he's, able to do things that are kind of outside of what the exact play is. And because of that, because he can freelance and do all those things. He's a dangerous player, and that makes him a very dangerous team.
Well, Joe, we are all going to be listening, obviously. Thursday night, 3 p.m. is when the Canes pregame show will start, and then the game will kick off at 7:30. You're going to hear it all here on 104.3 FM WQAM. I mean, I've said it a million times, Joe. There is one game left between them playing for a college national football championship at Hard Rock Stadium. It is hard to believe that there is one game between that happening after LSU, after Louisville, and after SMU. Like, it's just a startling turn of events. But here we are, just one game away on Thursday night, and super excited.
Yeah, everybody is excited. It is hard to believe. I mean, after SMU, everybody was pretty low. I thought they were dead in the water. But they rallied, and the game that opened my eyes was the North Carolina State game. State was coming off a big win against Georgia Tech. I think Dave Dorn's a pretty good coach. He hates Miami. I thought they were going to be ready to go. C.J. Bailey coming in, Chaminade High School and all that. And Miami just destroyed NC State. And really, from that point on, they've dominated every opponent that they've had. So hopefully that continues. I know the players are excited and focused. They've had good practices. A little concerned about the injury situation. We'll see. They're going to need O.J. Frederick, that's for sure. Got injured in the Ohio State game. Moten got injured. I think they're going to go, but we'll know when they go through pregame warmups.
Oh, we will be listening. Joe, enjoy your time out there in Arizona, and hopefully we get to speak with you next week leading up to the old biggie.
Oh, yeah, that'll be wild. All right, Hoch, thank you. Say hello to Coach L again.
I will do. He's reconnected. I just haven't brought him up to the stage because we were wrapping it up anyway, but I will let him know you're sending your regards.
Okay, thanks a lot. Go Canes.
Go Canes. There you go. Joe Zagacki. Again, you can hear the game here on 104.3 FM WQAM Thursday night. I want to tell you about my good friends and the amazing award-winning team at Doral Kia. Whenever you want a low price, you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. So take advantage of a Pricito now on all your favorite new Kia models like a Sportage, Sorento, Telluride, K5, Soul, and more. Don't wait. Hurry to Doral Kia today. I told you the Hochman family, we hurried to Doral Kia. We got our son a Kia K4 there. Doral Kia, they were so great. Mitchell, the king of Kias down at Doral Kia, took great care of us. He will certainly take great care of you as well. So don't miss your chance to save on a new Kia or shop any of their pre-owned vehicles as well. They've got easy financing, fast service, the best value for your money. You will always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I spend $250,000 a year on gluten. Lights on. I don't know who this is. My initial reaction was, what the hell is this crap for the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour? But then I looked at Solana and his eyes lit up like, wow, a song that I like. So what is this, Solana?
Have you not seen the most viral meme or joke on the internet over the past month? John Hamm vibing to this song in a club?
No.
Really?
No. I've seen Hey Grok put me in a bikini.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a video of John Hamm in a bikini dancing to this song.
I have not.
Have you really not seen
that?
that?
No, I haven't.
Damn, that's crazy.
So he's like and he doesn't know that he's being videoed?
It's
like he's
from no. It's from a show that he's doing. There's like this viral club
I got
scene,
you.
but it's like this very euphoric dance with the club vibe in the background to this song.
I have not seen it.
And everybody's using that clip for memes or whatever.
All right.
It's everywhere on IG.
Well, I'm everywhere on IG, so I take issue with that, Jimmy. 5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha happy hour, and Solana needs somebody to bring him a Funky Buddha for the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour.
Crowder is advocating to me. He's downloaded Chrome and he's ready to go, and I'm going to trust him here.
I think this is a disaster.
We're ready to go?
But yeah, go ahead. That's a great start. Oh,
we ready to go?
Actually, it does sound better.
It sounds amazing.
That sounds
This
better.
I want on Chrome. See, nobody told me about Google Chrome.
So Solana may have figured out the entirety of the problem the last couple of days with Crowder's audio, which is Crowder. He got a new MacBook Air book, and
just
are
a
you sure?
MacBook.
Are you sure?
I will
It's
jump
an Air
on
book.
I will take all my frustration on Jimmy, Crowder, and Coachell on you right now.
But he bought I thought it was laudable that he finally for the new year got the MacBook Air book, and we've had these audio problems. and
MacBook Air book.
yeah, and
No,
see, yeah,
That's just MacBook Air. It's just a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro.
But
That's it.
he's been doing the show the last day and a half on Safari, and Solana finally figured it out that you're not supposed to use this system on Safari. It should be Google Chrome. So during this last commercial break, first Crowder had to find out what Google Chrome. And
I want to cry.
Solana's going to have the worst preheat and then heat broadcast because this day it's been 3 hours and 4 minutes, really longer than that, because Solana was on with Crowder earlier today and he's really on the verge of tears. But he's spent the entire day trying to troubleshoot audio issues with Crowder, and then we had issues with Jim Larinaga in the last segment where he disconnected during the Joe Zagacki interview, and Crowder couldn't hear anything. I saw he was tapping his ear. He's tapping the microphone. And it's just been a long, Google Alexa, Mac AirBook Pro Alexa. It's just been a long day for Solana troubleshooting for people who really are beginners when it comes to technology. And so it's not like typical, hey, open up your settings or whatever. Like, it is walking through every step. But I think it may be Google Chrome. Because you sound as good as you've sounded in the last 2 days, Crowder.
Man, thank you. And Solana, I'm sorry. You did a lot today, bro. We give you a hard time. So I'll tell you, I'm sorry for being country. Like somebody texted in with your country ass. I'm very country. I don't understand this. But you didn't tell me to get Google Chrome. I don't know what Google Chrome is. I typed it into this setting. It popped up. And bro, do you know you could download something in like 15 seconds? I thought it took hours.
Get out of here.
I thought it took hours to download something.
Where'd you download it? Napster?
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
I know how to use LimeWire.
Well, I guarantee you over the next 2 weeks, Crowder will be broadcasting somewhere and will say after an hour or so of terrible audio, oh, my Google Chrome disappeared. I guarantee you he's going to do a show on Safari again and pretend like we can't notice it. And then he's going to reveal after like an hour or so, well, my Google Chrome disappeared. And then he'll find out, oh, you can just re-download it and it'll be fine. And it won't have disappeared, by the way. It'll just be hidden.
Just headed from the other side of this. Like Safari doesn't support an app or a website. Like it doesn't make sense to people like me.
I agree, but you sound great. Solana, you did it. Like you literally figured it out.
Well, when I'm faced with a problem, I don't just like I want to figure it out. One, because the show's better when you're talking with Crowder. Like everybody would agree with that. And if every time Crowder comes on, like I'm annoyed. You have to now talk to me, which annoys you, Hoch. Like this is what we need. So I needed this to work.
Well, listen, it only took you 18 hours, but you did it.
He locked in.
A MacBook Airbook was invented in less time than it took you to problem solve. But damn it, this guy loves to problem solve, and he did it.
This is what it felt like when the Apollo 13 finally landed.
Yes, it really does. I have a tear running down my eye. This is fantastic.
I'm Kevin Bacon being rushed to the hospital and like feeling good.
This is absolutely fantastic. Well, anyway, the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour. Funky Buddha is having an official Florida Panthers watch party this Thursday night. Now, that's always fun. There happens to be a Miami Ole Miss game going on that night.
It's always fun.
So they're going to have that on a TV or two. So Thursday night, if you're a Panthers fan and you're a Canes fan, you can watch it at Funky Buddha, the tap room in Oakland Park. They're going to have Panthers mascot appearances and beer specials all night long. So Thursday night's going to be a special night at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park. Now, do you know what is coming up January 31st?
No.
I can't believe how good you sound. I can't believe how good you sound, because that to Solana's point, I would have said, do you know what's coming up the 31st? And it would have sounded like,
because I went to my settings and I turned my audio volume down earlier.
It is like having you in the room next to us. Don't you have this unbelievable sense of relief?
Yeah.
Like it feels like we're doing a show again instead of talking over a ham radio.
Google Chrome.
Oh my goodness. That was good though that you figured that out.
Just step by step, man.
So what'd you say? Okay, let's close it out.
No, ask him I asked him what browser are you using? He said, "What is that?" And I said, "Are you using Safari?" And he once again replied with, "What is that?" Right. And I said, "The thing you're using to run StreamYard, Safari?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You need Google Chrome," followed by another, What is that?
Right. Yeah.
But no joke, like this is what it's supposed to sound like. You have a quality microphone.
Yeah, it sounds great.
You look phenomenal.
Yeah, the camera looks great.
I think that's God.
Well,
I love technology, but this look is God.
Anyway, do you know what January 31st is?
I do not.
That is the Maple Bacon Coffee Porter Festival.
Yes.
So it is a Wild West showdown with 50 or more beers, live music, and axe throwing. Now, that leads me to believe someone needs to keep an eye on Dan Day at this year's Maple Bacon Coffee Porter Festival, because if you're authorized to throw axes, I feel like someone needs to keep an eye on
Dan's going to stumble in the way.
No cover at the Maple Bacon Coffee Porter Festival this year. It is all day, family-friendly fun, so mark your calendars. You want to be there. Funky Buddha, Oakland Park. The Maple Bacon Coffee Porter Festival this year is January 31st. There are some tremendous celebrity birthdays today. Before we get a quick look at the headlines, Mac McClung, NBA dunk champion, is 27. Jameis Winston, do you know how old he is? You want to guess?
34.
32. I thought he was older than that. Jameis
Yeah.
Winston, 32. And Ndamukong Suh, would you like to guess how old he is?
39.
Did you just have him on the pivot, or am I making that up?
No, making it. We've called him, but he's not very nice.
What did I see him on? I just saw a clip of him on something.
He probably does his own podcast. He's like,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was his own pod. Yeah.
He's really smart, right, Crowder? Doesn't he do a lot of investments?
He's like, remember he studied with Warren Buffett. He wanted to learn business from Warren Buffett.
I'll give you all a heads up. When you have $300-400 million, it's great to invest in stuff because you sound like a genius.
Gilbert Arenas is 44. Lou Holtz is 89. But
he's alive?
He is alive. Lou Holtz is alive.
That's awesome. Proud of him.
And, the most important celebrity birthday today, Hilaria Baldwin is 42. What is cucumber? Great line. What is cucumber?
What is Google Chrome?
I mean, you're from Brooklyn, Hilaria. What do you mean? What is cucumber? You're from Connecticut. You went to private school in Connecticut. How you say cucumber? I don't know. How do you say it? Cucumber. We all say it the same way. You're an American. What are you talking about, Hilaria? All right, let's do headlines here with a relieved Alejandro Solana. I mean, what could go wrong the rest of the night? 3 hours, 4 hours in here with Tommy Tig. I'm sure everything's going to be perfect. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
I want to go back to the Mike McDaniel story because I read this from Dave Hyde, and I just wonder what you guys think. It was a tweet from Dave Hyde, and he says, whatever your thoughts on Mike McDaniel are, he shouldn't have been put in a position to talk of his role in GM search or coaching future. Stephen Ross should have, or another top executive, but that doesn't happen here.
No, they were going to ask him either way. If they put Stephen Ross out there and ask Stephen Ross for an answer, he has to talk. He's the head coach. He has to talk postseason.
Right. He's got to talk. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't need to be part of the search, and probably should have said, I'll leave that. Oh, look at this. John Harbaugh is out as the Ravens head coach.
We got action, Jack.
Now we got action, Jack.
We got action.
Wow.
Adam Schefter reporting John Harbaugh is out as Ravens head coach.
He can stay with me.
Now you're going to see, I think, the Dolphins maneuver hard to get him.
Wow.
That's big news.
I live in Davie, coach. If you need a room, I got an extra in the back. Avon Chan just went to IMG. You have kids?
Rooms, yeah.
We got a couple rooms available, comfortable beds.
Wow. John Harbaugh in Baltimore, 18 seasons, 180 and 113, 13 and 11 postseason record, and a Super Bowl champion. That's the guy. I've said it a million times since yesterday. There's a reason that they have not, I think, the Dolphins come out and said definitively Mike McDaniel's returning next season. And that's because I believe there are a couple of whales, Tomlin, Harbaugh, that Stephen Ross would love to hire. So, and it is the Adam Schefter legit account, 11 million followers. Somebody texting in, please don't be effing with us. No,
this is legit.
Adam Schefter sources, John Harbaugh is out as Ravens head coach.
And we talked about it when I said, just go date and see what happens. No. If you break up with this girlfriend, there's a better girl out there. There's a better spouse out there right now. Go get him and don't wait for the Cardinals, or there's 5 or 6 teams that you don't think the Falcons want him. You don't think you don't think these teams want him.
Anyone that has a coaching vacancy would love to hire that guy. Now, we know that Stephen Ross famously tried to hire Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
But if there is a reason that you could stand in front of your fan base and say, we weren't planning on letting our head coach go, but this guy became available, this is the guy. It's John Harbaugh. So I imagine the Dolphins are on the phone right now if they haven't been already, because that is
Give him the house.
yeah. I really there's no salary cap when it comes to head coaches, and I've told you over and over again, I don't think Stephen Ross is afraid to spend any amount to put together the team and the leadership that he thinks will bring success to the franchise. I can't imagine there is a team that could outbid him if he really wants him.
And it's great. Now my phone's blowing up. Everybody's texting Harbaugh's out. The Lamar Jackson thing. Stephen Ross won Lamar Jackson. Harbaugh said, I'll take Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson became Lamar Jackson. The Ravens are known for great draft picks. They've brought in Pro Bowlers for years. There's somebody in that building that Harbaugh trusts that's going to bring in great draft picks to the Dolphins. This is a godsend, guys. Give him whatever he wants and bring John Harbaugh to the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, no amount of money might end up making that decision easy for him to come down here. I'm just being honest, guys, because, Crowder, you were talking about the position of general manager not being that attractive. There are a couple head coaching vacancies out. I'll just list one in the New York Giants. That's the first one that comes to mind. Even the Tennessee Titans, where at the very least you have a young, promising quarterback, Cam Ward for sure, but Jackson Dart, Scottaboo when he's healthy, and Malik Neighbors when they're healthy. If you can start there, if you're Harbaugh, over coming to Miami where there's a big question mark looming on not only what it's going to look like next year, but beyond. I don't know. I'm just saying it might sound easy for us to say Stephen Ross throw whatever because he has whatever, but maybe Harbaugh saying, I don't care about money. I want to win.
That's certainly the reality is if John Harbaugh only wants to win right now, yeah, you can win, I think, easier with Jackson Dart than you can Quinn Ewers. Maybe not. But if I don't think it would be a win now situation for John Harbaugh, though. I think if Stephen Ross hired him, it would be like, hey, you've got the keys to the franchise. We'll support you in whatever you want to do. Make it happen, Captain.
And bring him down. Let him bring his own GM. They haven't hired anybody yet. Let him buy that. Give his own GM. You run the roost. You're the man. And my sell would also be, Solana, to your point, I understand, and you're right. And the defense, we just had Brian Burns on today. They have Abdul Carter and Thibodeau. They have a crazy defensive front as well in New York. So we're up here now. He's 63 years old. Old guys like warm weather. Sell him the weather. Who wants to be up here where I am with this damn sweatshirt on when I could be where y'all are with T-shirts on?
Totally agree. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge selling point. I think Miami over, New York. Again, huge media market, but he's lived the last 18 years in Baltimore. It's plenty cold up there. Like, do something new. Change the climate.
He can hang with me. Take it fishing. Send him a fishing voucher.
Holy
do you have to fire McDaniel if you're Stephen Ross to go and talk to him and make like a full court press?
Do you have to fire him? No. They did it with Tony Sperano. They didn't fire him. They went and talked to his brother.
Right. Well, it wasn't.
Jim Harbaugh is going to call John and go, wait till you see what the Dolphins do. They still got a head coach. I know the whole routine. Yeah, no. They can do whatever they want, especially if he's terminated from Baltimore, and everyone's having it. I'm watching it on NFL Network right now. But like, if he's terminated, yeah, he can go talk to whoever he wants, and anyone that wants to talk to him can talk to him. Honestly, whoever, the Bears could go talk to him, even though Ben Johnson's about to coach them in a playoff game. It doesn't matter.
I just meant, from the perspective
from
of trying,
like an optics standpoint.
Optics, but forget about like moral situation. I'm just talking about if you're Stephen Ross and you're really trying to convince Harbaugh, hey, I want you. Don't you kind of have to say, I'm going to fire my head coach right now for you? I don't know. Like, I just wonder what's the right way to do it.
I think that goes without saying. If we want to hire you as the head coach, you're going to fire the guy who currently has the job. No?
If Jim Harbaugh's a good brother, he sees this pop up, and his brother John might already told him, yeah, they're talking about firing me. Jim texts John Stephen Ross's contact information right now and says, hey, wait for this. This number's about to call you. Save this into your phone. It's going to be a great visit on that yacht, and you're going to have a great time coaching that team. That's what's happened. That's what I want them to do.
If I'm Harbaugh's agent, I'm telling John, you can have your pick of vacancies, and you can really write your own contract.
Yeah.
Because very rarely does a head coach become available with those kind of bona fides. Like, very rarely.
13 playoff wins. We have 0. Come on, man.
That's more, right?
8 road playoff victories, according to Schefter, during his time as a Ravens head coach. That's the most in NFL history.
You know, that kicker, that rookie kicker, cost John Harbaugh his 18-year job.
And he walked into the tunnel holding, basically like embracing him.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Bring him in.
Oh, this changes the game, man.
Should I send out my second tweet over the last 7 months?
Yeah, see if he wants to go fishing with you and your friend in Bradenton tonight.
I'll get him to South Florida. Y'all got to see the deal.
I am just so delighted at how good your audio sounds. I'm just delighted.
Hey, is this them picking Lamar over Harbaugh? Because there was some, assumption that it turned into, hey, there's going to end up being two sides here. Lamar, Harbaugh are not really meshing with one another. And I don't know, because if this is purely just a brass thing and they maybe want to move on from Lamar Jackson as well.
Well, certainly there's that thought too. But then Lamar Jackson also might say, hey, this guy wasn't able to coach me to success the last few seasons in Baltimore. And I had Derrick Henry. What makes me think he's going to be able to do this with Ollie Gordon,
Jalen Wright.
Congratulations, Ollie and Jalen.
Right, but if in your scenario, Hoch, where you go full court press for Lamar Jackson, maybe securing John Harbaugh down here might help that end up working. I'm just saying, a Harbaugh Lamar. Could you imagine we go from McDaniel to Tua to Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh next season?
But even Harbaugh and Quinn Ewers, that's I'm telling you, that's an improvement. No,
yeah. Listen, I'm just not looking at the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. What Harbaugh is, you read his resume. He's a great coach. Also, he's a special teams guy. He's going to hire an offensive coordinator, hire a defensive coordinator. He's going to really be that general manager football-wise, as they have a general manager that he hires, that he trusts, that's been an organization that drafts more all-pros, whatever. There's some stat. The Ravens drafted more Pro Bowlers than any other team or something crazy. This is beautiful. This is exactly how it's supposed to play out on a wonderful day for us. We got to go get it.
Somebody puts on the chat, the more we talk about this, the more it's going to be a Giannis illusion. And he says, please change the subject to the Marlins or Messi, anything. Yeah, we've done this before where we're like, oh, this is perfectly set up for us.
Damian Lillard, 100% coming to Miami.
Peyton Manning. I mean, let's chase him with the choppers. He's our new quarterback. What if John Harbaugh, though, this is from a texter, what if John Harbaugh says, yeah, I would come down there, but I believe Tua is the perfect quarterback for what I want to do?
Smack him in the mouth. Start his career correctly. Good old assault.
Well, I think that's the
that's awesome.
That's the little twist that I kept saying could possibly happen that would take away all the belief that Mike McDaniel is for sure going to be back next season. And they may have expressed that to Mike McDaniel. Like, hey, let's move forward as if you're going to be the head coach. But there are a couple scenarios that we're looking at. I mean, I don't think Stephen Ross would want to get into the Sparano-Harbaugh situation again. So I have a feeling that maybe it's been shared with him. But, man, that is a huge wrench for the Dolphins now. Now, if they're not interested and they come out quickly and say, yeah, not interested, we're set with Mike McDaniel, then that would surprise me, because they've never, since the season ended, said anything along the lines of, yeah, we're set with our head coach.
No, they've got they would have, literally, Stephen Ross would have to be out of his mind to not be interested in Harbaugh. I mean, it feels like now, as I'm digesting the news, he could literally, outside of maybe like 5 jobs in the NFL, he could pick where he wants to
Absolutely.
go. It feels that way. We're even somebody DM me, what if he holds out for the Buffalo job? If Buffalo doesn't win a Super Bowl,
sure,
and Harbaugh contacts somebody in Buffalo and says, I want to go coach there. You know what I mean? Like, it almost feels like they would do that. They would let go of McDermott for Harbaugh. I mean, he's a top 5 coach in the NFL, right, Crowder?
For sure. It's crazy as you say this. How you say, Solana, as we start thinking about it, he has total control of his hiring process now.
Yeah.
All these names we're bringing up, somebody went to the Falcons. They were talking about the 49ers, DC, and all this stuff. Harbaugh is the finest thing on the block. Harbaugh is in control of this entire coaching cycle. So he is going to decide where he wants to go. I just want us to put our best foot forward and do anything it has to impress him. Pull out the yachts. He already got fired. Pull out the boats. Do everything you can because he gets to decide where he goes. There are teams that would fire their current coach that hasn't if he says, I want to go there.
Well, the Dolphins. you need look no further than the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Think of if he says something about like Dallas. If he says, I always wanted to coach the Cowboys and call Jerry Jones, you don't think that's a conversation now that's happening about, damn, Harbaugh's better than this dude? Like there are very good teams, not great teams, that would fire their coach for Harbaugh.
Barry Jackson, the Miami Herald, tweets out, I am sure I'm in the minority on this, and my opinion does not matter, but I do not think it's unscrupulous to inquire about Harbaugh and keep McDaniel employed simultaneously. If hypothetically Brandon Shore called Harbaugh's agent and the agent said he's more interested in other teams, that's fine. If Harbaugh's interested, then Ross should tell McDaniel that he's interested in Harbaugh, but that McDaniel will be retained if he doesn't get him, if that's what Ross wants. Despite Sperano Jim Harbaugh fiasco years ago, you don't need to fire McDaniel to pursue Harbaugh. Just be transparent with Mike, which is what I said. I think they would probably have learned their lesson from that fiasco and just be transparent with Mike. But I kind of feel like there's a analogy to be made there. And again, Deshaun Watson has turned out to be a creep, but there's an analogy to be made where we were talking about, hey, Tua would even understand if they were pursuing Deshaun Watson while he was their starting quarterback, because sometimes you can acknowledge, hey, this person's better at it than I am. And that would be, I mean, you can't tell me that Mike McDaniel wouldn't understand if they were going to retain him for anyone except John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin. I mean, that's not, that's not the worst thing in the world.
No, Hawk. And it sounds good in concept. Hey, we have a better candidate. Like, you understand John Harbaugh is who he is, so we're trying to get him. But if we can't get him, then you can stay. It's going to become ego thing. Like, you can't say, hey, hey, we're dating right now. If I can talk to Lisa, I'm going to go with Lisa. But if Lisa doesn't talk to me, then we'll stay together. That's a weird place to be for McDaniel.
Yes, I agree. But what if you've petered out in bed with that woman 4 out of 6 times? Then your performance isn't up to snuff. I'm just saying, McDaniel, I mean, no playoffs in the last couple of seasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't exactly been throwing it down.
So tell him that, hey, you're not throwing it down. We really don't think you're the guy, but we're going to wait for somebody better than you to come before we fire you. Like I said, it's not a bad concept, Hawk. It's just tough on ego and how we've seen these cycles go in the past.
Totally understand. All right, let's take a break then. We'll come back. We'll digest more of this because this is pretty wild breaking news. Did we do headlines? We did.
That was pretty much headlines.
All right, there you go. So let's take a break here in the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour. Can you stick around for the final segment, Crowder, or you got to be out of that big cavernous room?
I got to get JFK.
All right, you get to JFK, and Solana and I will take it from here.
Appreciate
I am
you, brother.
so delighted that you are using Google Chrome and that everything sounds so great. I mean, we went through some travails together, and we came out on the other side okay.
See, Solana, take it easy, man.
He had a rough day. He really, he was on edge.
Hold on.
Hey, put that, Tyler, if you're listening. I want all our banners to have that picture of Solana.
My goodness, he was mad.
What a day you had, man.
And all you needed to do was use Google Chrome.
What a day you had. I mean,
we worked it out.
We worked it out. We figured it
Who
out.
worked it out?
You did. I gave you all your
You got it.
terms.
Right, but he said we worked it out. Who's we? I worked it out.
I pushed the buttons. I pushed the buttons. I downloaded Google Chrome. You're a terrible teammate.
Anyway, safe travels, Crowder.
I'll let y'all.
All right, Cheetah Pompano. What a great spot to watch a game or a fight or just try to celebrate the potentiality of a new coach. I mean, they got HD TVs throughout the club, VIP areas, 4 stages of entertainment, and the most beautiful ladies in South Florida. Cheetah Pompano. You want to watch the game Thursday night? You can do it at Cheetah Pompano. That'd be a fun place to watch. Cheetah Pompano has an amazing complimentary gourmet lunch till 3 p.m. every day. Happy hour specials till 6. I always say it, but it's the truth. Every day is a great day at Cheetah Pompano Beach. Make sure you visit Cheetah Palm Beach as well. You can get all the details at cheetahsofl.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
You know who never just kind of mails it in?
Oh,
The Costco guys.
Got what you
5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour, and it is brought to you by our friends at Funky Buddha Brewery. Let me think about this. And obviously, Thursday night, official Panthers watch party is at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park, the tap room. But let me just see real quickly before we get back to the breaking news if anything's up at Funky Buddha tonight. Let's see, they're promoting the watch party on Thursday. That's all they're promoting is the watch party on Thursday. So Panthers watch party, and they will have the Miami Ole Miss game on as well. That's at Funky Buddha in Oakland Park. So somebody puts on the text line, leave it to the Dolphins to not be in a position to pounce when one of the marquee coaches, Harbaugh, becomes available. Why? Because they're keeping McDaniel around. God knows what reason. Mickey Mouse show. No, they're in every position to pounce. Like you're misinterpreting McDaniel still being the head coach today. There is no written rule that if a football team is going to fire their head coach, it has to be the day after the season ends. You can wait it out and see who shakes free, who doesn't, whether it makes sense to keep your coach. You don't have to make that decision right away. Most organizations who have a definitive plan do it because there's no point in keeping them around. But the Dolphins are absolutely in position to go get John Harbaugh, who, by the way, if you're just getting in your car, just joining us, John Harbaugh has been fired by the Baltimore Ravens. And that is huge potential news for the Miami Dolphins.
It is funny, though, watching so many different beat writers that I follow from different organizations with head coaching vacancies say X team should be reaching out immediately. I saw Cleveland Browns reporter Daniel Yafusi, used to work down here, say Cleveland should be reaching out immediately. Sure. A Giants reporter that I follow, hey, I'd be on the phone now. I saw Dan Orlovsky say the Arizona Cardinals should offer him the job this second. So it is funny to see a name like Harbaugh becomes available and everybody says that's got to be our guy.
Adam Schefter points out on Twitter, the Ravens have had only 3 head coaches in their history.
Wow.
Ted Marchibroda, Brian Billick, and John Harbaugh. That is wild.
You nailed that, though. You've been saying for a couple weeks.
It's the only logical reason that you wouldn't get rid of McDaniel, right? Because you haven't had a successful season the last 2 seasons, and this year was really like there were moments that were so epically embarrassing. There's only a couple reasons that you wouldn't fire McDaniel during the season or right after, and that is, hey, we don't want to start fresh with another guy, young guy who hasn't had much coaching opportunities and hope he's the right guy. The only thing that would cause us to get rid of McDaniel, who Stephen Ross obviously likes, the only reason that would cause us to get rid of him is if someone shakes free who's a monster name, a whale, like Tobin always says about Pat Riley. Someone shakes free where you go, it's the Giannis thing, and I know the coach isn't on the field or on the court, but, it's the argument that we had about, well, would you get rid of Bam if it was the only way to get Giannis? And I'm like, very, very rarely does an actual whale become available. John Harbaugh is a coaching whale. He is. Dolphins fans, tell me, you wouldn't have traded Baltimore's last 18 years for ours. Like, John Harbaugh is a coaching whale. And so that would be the impetus for the Miami Dolphins to say, okay, now we have a reason to make a coaching change because this makes us instantly better. There's nothing left to chance. We don't need to find out if John Harbaugh can coach in this league. Like, when you hire Mike McDaniel, you were hoping to find out he can be a good head coach in this league.
Right.
When you hired Adam Gase, you were hoping to find out he could be a good head coach in this league. When you hired Cam Cameron, you go down the list. And John Harbaugh, that part of the equation is gone. You know he can be a great head coach in this league because he's been one.
And to the texter who was, calling this a Mickey Mouse organization and the fact that the Dolphins aren't in play, I'd argue the fact that their general manager seat is open right now perhaps adds some extra leverage.
I think so too.
For Harbaugh, because now he can say, hey, I like working with X person And if you want me, I want to work with X person as a general manager. That's something that, the New York Giants were keeping John Shane, I believe, who's the general
I feel
manager.
like it's a different name. Why do I?
It's very possible.
Is it Phil Shane, the old soccer announcer?
Phil Shane? No, not Phil Shane. Either way,
Who's the Giants general manager?
whoever it is, that they can't do that. They're keeping their GM. I just think
Joe Shane.
Joe Shane?
Yeah.
That was close.
What were you searching, Jimmy?
That information.
How come it took you?
No, because I wasn't sure.
You should have just yelled out Chris Quinn to close out the show.
That would have been great.
I heard you say Joe Shane. I think you meant Chris Quinn.
You mean Chris Quinn?
You mean Dan Quinn? Yeah, I think it actually benefits the Miami Dolphins that the GM position is open because John Harbaugh, like we're talking about, he can call his own shot anywhere, really, monetarily and personnel-wise. So there are teams who will absolutely say to him, yeah, you want to come coach here? Tell us who you want as GM.
Yep.
And the Dolphins, because they haven't hired anyone yet, don't have to say, hey, we just hired blank, but trust us, you'll work well with him. We really like him. It's literally a clean slate for Harbaugh if he wants it. And like I firmly believe, I don't think there's any money that would prevent Stephen Ross from fielding a winner. And if he believes that John Harbaugh brings him that much closer, I think the checkbook is open, and I think the GM position is for the taking.
See what Jeff Saturday is wearing on
Yeah,
PTI?
I like that look.
You like that look?
Yeah, he's got like the jacket hoodie.
But it's not a hoodie, it's a zip up jacket underneath the
You
blazer.
sure it's not a zip up hoodie?
It's a zip up sweater. It's got the hood on it, but you see how it's a sweater,
blazer.
and then he's got the blazer on top because what's his name from Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, the big bald guy, Whitworth.
Whitworth. He does the blazer over the top of the hoodie. That's his thing.
Yeah.
A little cutesy that he's made that his thing, but fine.
Well, Ryan Clark's got the RC pin.
That's true. Jeff Saturday is wearing a zip up sweater and it's zipped down.
Right.
With a t-shirt underneath and a blazer on top.
I kind of like the look. I can't lie. Huh. You don't like that look?
It just doesn't make any sense.
Huh.
Zip up the
really,
sweater.
Really what makes sense anymore, if you want to take it there. Well, there you go. The breaking news as we finish up today's show. The breaking news is that John Harbaugh is out as the Ravens head coach.
I can't believe it because you were saying, hey, Tomlin, Harbaugh, those are legitimate names to be on the lookout for.
I think you said today those guys aren't going anywhere.
I didn't think if the Miami Dolphins, it's funny how the Dolphins are saying, hey, we don't want to move on from Mike McDaniel, who in the grand scheme of things has had zero success as a head coach in terms of like playoff success.
Sure.
Because we don't feel confident about any other guys who might be available right now. But the Baltimore Ravens are telling you we're letting go of arguably the most successful current head coach in the NFL to give another guy an opportunity. It's just funny how that plays out, Why would the Ravens be willing to let go of a guy like Harbaugh who has that resume to give somebody who's open right now an opportunity, but the Dolphins are reluctant to do it with a guy with zero playoff success?
Well, people run their course in
I get it.
franchises. You see it all the time where they've still got something to give, but for whatever reason, it's done there. Josina Anderson tweets out, I'm told that Dolphins ownership has expressed an affinity for John Harbaugh recently per league source. We'll see if that materializes into an opportunity as the seat is not currently vacant. Harbaugh will have multiple conversations at his doorstep. Well, that is something to watch, ladies and gentlemen. That is something to watch. We've got drama. I like drama.
What could go wrong?
That's going to do it for us on this Tuesday. Dan Day is coming up after us, right? Till 6:45?
On his birthday.
That's right. Dan Day's birthday today. Wish him a happy birthday. And then you will have Solana and Tommy Tig with preheat starting at 6:45. And then Jason Jackson on the call, 8 p.m. Heat and Timberwolves tonight right here on 104.3 FM WQAM. Panthers on 560 AM. We fixed Crowder's sound. Life is good.
What a 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour this was.
Everybody have a great and safe Tuesday night. Go Heat, go Panthers, go get John Harbaugh. We will speak with you mañana.